this. Bam. 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 Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What you talking about, Willis? Oh, there it is. Auto front-end activate. What you talking about? Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me. That doesn't seem to make no sense. Okay, let's see. Oops. 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 Auto find and activate. Which one's that? Oh, I see. What? Boy. That's kind of crazy. How does it not find it? Did I break it? I think I may have broke it. Definitely broke something. All right, let's see. What up, ND? Well, I broke everything. I'm trying to fix it. That don't make no sense. Am I not signed in? Let's turn that off, maybe. That finds it instantly. That's weird. That's weird. Okay. All right, there we go. What up, my brother? Milk and chips. All right, let's see if that works now. All right. Does that go over here? Here. 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 Oh, it's not it either. Here. 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 Okay, let's do this now. Bam, 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 bam. I've been to the forest today with my nieces, roasting marshmallows and cooking fish. That sounds like a good day. That sounds like my kind of day. Did you find the like button? Oh, you know what I could have done too? Oh, it doesn't even work that way. No way. There we go. There we go. There we go. Do you like my new freaking dare profile picture? I only like because I'm a good person. Thank you, Andy. Check out my new whip. You like it? Have you seen my
You stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
How are you, Cookie?
Stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
And I got 21 likes. Hey, good. World's answer. The most answers in the world, 21. You know what 21 times 2 is, right? 42. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Cookie has baldy twin. You have baldy twins, Cookie? Cookie has baldy twins. That's Close. That's 20. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Math went wrong. 21 and a third times 3. 68. No. Yeah, 21 and a third. 22 and a third. Yeah, 22 and a third. Thank you, Twintle. I'm pretty chill. Yeah, I'm pretty chill. I'm stupid, though. Check me out.
You stupid.
No, not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
Yeah, I have a baldy twin, or her name is Ava the Baldy Twin. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. An actual twin. Twin user. Well, that's good. That's good. Ava the Baldy Twin. All right, let's check out Ava the Baldy Twin. Let's check out Ava the Baldy Twin. Oh, it don't work. Can you do an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression? I can't do it. Everything around here seems to be the wrong way. I'm out here. 9 plus 9 is 9. I was so close. I thought 9 plus 19 was. Thank you, Cookie. Thank you, my friend Cookie. This internet stuff is so wackadoodle. It's so difficult to do the internet. I do. I have a Minecraft server through the Discord for the that me and ND Beats actually set up. It's running right now for the community. We still got a bunch of people in there all the time, oddly enough. 9 plus 9 is legal. How do you get here? I think I've sounded more like German than Schwarzenegger. He's from where? Austria? Austria? Where is Arnold Schwarzenegger from? Tau, Austria. What's up, Queen Lear? My subscribers. I call them great people. The best people. I call them. Members, students. I run this class, 110th grade. You are my students, and I will be yours. How are you, Queen? I wonder why I didn't find. They call me Treasy Boy. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we doing now. This makes me so happy. It makes me so happy. Richard runs the class. That's right, and he's the janitor.
You stupid.
No, not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
No, not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
How are you, Wertzy? Werty X's? Yeah. Well, not too much. Getting the stream going, relaxing after a day of painting. Thank you, Twintle. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I try to treat everybody the way I want to be treated. And make people laugh and teach people things that I know and learn from people things that I don't know. I want to save the world. And he's funny. He's funny. All right. Okay. Let's see what we're going to do here. And yeah, I think I'm at 2,300 subs. Let's see where we're at, actually. I think I hit almost 2,300 subs. Let's see. Hey, that says 2,300. Bam, we made it to 2,300 subs. Keep on going. Why you laugh, hey, brother? Listen, when I make stuff that I think other people will enjoy, especially when I like playing characters and stuff like that. I was in the music and in movie industry and the movie industry for a bunch of years, and I was always background or like building sets and props. So when I getting to know you all on the live streams and stuff like that, I think when I make funny stuff like that, I think about how you guys will react to it, and it's funny to me. It's funny to me. Been drinking beer, freak out tent. Yeah. I would like to try to see more people try to make the internet a better place. You know, a more hospitable place, a better place for people to hang out in when you're bored and to learn in when you're seeking it, you know. Yeah, it's a lot of it is just like I'm gonna press this button, chat. I'm gonna press a button. You know, like that kind of stuff. It just drives me crazy. Yeah, it's good to be able to laugh at yourself. I agree. And healthy, yeah. Chill the stream here. That's right, Queen Lear. Yeah, I crack myself up too. It's kind of cool when you have a community of people that are all really cool and like comedy, truth, you know, honesty and keeping things real, number one. But you got to be able to laugh at things, especially when you see the foolishness in them. Yeah, and I love it. You want to laugh. Like the news makes you want to cry. But, you know, finding people that make life worth living and laughing about is really, really good. I'm going to press the button. Oh, damn it. I'm going to press the button. I'm going to press it. Oh, chat, I'm going to press. Yeah. It's pure rage bait and brain rot. I agree. And I think what happened, what up, Neo? What up, Dingo Barry? What it do? I'm my comment section is very inclusive. So the rage bait and stuff, like a lot of people don't know anything about politics, but they know numbers on the internet, and they get on the internet and they're like, I'm gonna press the button, chat. And then when that starts to die down, they start saying something about a politician and it does a little bit, and then they say something about another politician and it does good. So they don't even know what they're necessarily talking about. They just see what gets the most reaction, and then they look at their numbers and they're like, I'm going to keep talking about that. You know, it's really, really rough. And then the brain rot, I can understand it. And if you go back through my 1,000+ videos, I've definitely had brain rotty stuff. And there's a small space for brain rot. Like, school needs recess, and sometimes we gotta unwind. But what I would prefer to see is if you're gonna make brain rot, I'd rather see it from my subscribers. Say, hey, I'm trying to, you know, build my community on the internet. And most people, especially kids, start with brain rot. The problem with brain rot is when adults are doing it just to add bad crap, just to try to get when kids do it and they're learning, they're getting their feet wet, they're trying to figure out how to navigate the internet and gaining subscribers and stuff, I can understand it. But when it's adults taking, you know, just running it up to try to get as many views as possible across many things, D-Trump has the biggest button. The biggest button. What up, Gerardo? It's open topic right now. I like Fist. I mean, they haven't put out an album in a long time, but yeah, I used to like a lot of System of the Down. We're talking about buttons. Yeah. How you doing, Luca? Lukaka fishing. Yeah, Monk likes some brain rot. Right. So here's a good litmus test for the internet. If like when I put out this short today, I just wanted to make people laugh, and I put myself in it, right? But people that repost other people's brain rot, just to put stuff out, and then they wonder why they don't get a good interaction from their community, is because there's no personality behind it. It's somebody else's or something else's creating. Yeah, it drives me crazy. What does it say, Ovet guy, mean? What does Ovet? Guys, someone in the comments, I was curious about that. I don't even know what Ovet means. And I'm a pretty smart guy. Edith's trying to figure out how to work her keyboard. Exactly. Oy vey? Oy vey? Is that what you're trying to say? Oy vey means like, oh my goodness. If that's what you're trying to say. Sisilkilagilligilik says tweets. Tweets. Or other gibberish or something, scratching ass. Yeah, oy vey. Oy jivolt. How you doing, Sizzle Kedgick? Your keyboard getting away from you? Sizzle Kedgick. I'm trying to think of Arnold Schwarzenegger's one-liners. Can't think of them. Not popping up in my brain. Yeah, but I'm guessing that's what you. Well, let's look it up, Neo. Let's see what it says. Let's see what it says. OVET. OVET says it's a digital health platform. OVET Dry Bulk Logistics or Veterans Education, the OVET. I don't know. The over guy. What's up, Brisk? Ain't seen you in a while, brother. I've been good. I just took your beer down. I'll show you. The studio is empty right now. I'm painting, so I got everything taken down, but I'll show you here. Wow, that's bright. Yeah, so I got all this other stuff taken down, and that camera's kind of washed out. 5, 4, midnight 04. Where are you at, It's 6:04 right here, PM, which would be 18:04 in 24 hour. Bam. Nintendo Wii webcam. Now this is my freaking. There's a bunch of stuff added to it right now. That's why it's so brightened out. I was recording a video, and I was doing some overlays. So Sweden. There you go. ND is in Denmark. ND Beats. This guy right here, he's in Denmark. Oh, it didn't work. There we go. Much better. What a VHS camcorder. Scandinavian. Denmark. What up, Real? Have you traveled in time? Looks retro in here. Yeah. Listen, guys, I'm from the future, past, one of the two. Yeah, I'm gonna make it again. I added some glue to my leg, and I don't know how to take it off without hurting it. If it was just like Elmer's glue, like white glue, you can wait for it to dry and just slowly peel it away, and it'll peel off in one big thing. It looks like your skin. If it's super glue or really strong glue, you're gonna need to get somebody with some acetone. I said, brother. What's up, Martian? Definitely look like a time traveler. Listen, guys, you gotta understand. Whatever you do, don't vote for. Oh, I was hoping it would go away. Boom. No, that don't work either. Where is it at? Boom. Well, shot on a Sony Ericsson 610. Wow. Old phone, boy. An old phone. Are you the time traveler that was on the Golden Gate Bridge? I've never heard of the Golden Gate Bridge. Don't vote for Xi Jinping. Xiling. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember it. Let's take a look. Bam. Boom. Yeah, boy. retro, man. The competition to the Nokia, I want to say 81, the 6140 or something like the 3140. Yeah, boy, the one you could hammer a nail in. It's clear glue and it's going out on my leg. It's going to hurt my leg. It shouldn't hurt your leg. You definitely want to soak it with, take like a sponge or a wet rag and set it on there for about 5 minutes. And then you should just be able to scrape it off. You just got to hydrate it. You got to hydrate it, twin. My subscrew because of Tamagotchi life. Tamagotchi life. Retro. Yeah, boy. Retro. Right. I can't even remember. The first phone I had was a Sprint PCS phone. Help the CIA put chips in my brain. The Chip Insertion Agency. CIA. Yeah, my first phone was a Sprint PCS phone. How can a collection of entirely mindless, probabilistic subatomic waves interact to create the precise macroscopic physical reality we experience, including the very conscious? It can't. It can't. Absolutely cannot. They put Elma chips in my brain. Elma! From to 224 before the Tomodachi life to 252 subs. From 224 subs to 252 subs. Good. If you like it, then yeah, run that. The 3310, I think that was it. The 3310. Was that the color screen or the? Well, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, that was my first. So after I left Ritz Camera, After I left Ritz Camera, I got a 3310, and it had a flashlight LED on the top. You like double pressed the power button, and the flashlight on the top would come out. It didn't have no camera or nothing. Yeah, boy, good old days. The Elma chips, potato chips. No, Neo, you're good. No, No. I'm just saying. The problem is with these theories is they try to be offensive to people of faith. They try to say, no, science already figured out how we're here, even though science has to be repeatable, and they can't repeat what they think started the universe. They've got no clue. It's just a bunch of guesses and hypotheses. They're the ones that are the problem. The people, the scientists using no evidence. Yeah, you're good. The 3510i. There you go. Yeah, that's the one at the color screen. Good old days, man. Gotta wear my tinfoil hat. We are a collection of fundamentally unpredictable quantum waves that somehow figured out how to lock arms, look in the mirror. Right. Do you like potatoes? Yeah, I like potatoes. Yeah. There's a lot of AI agents making burning a lot of power. So I was watching this thing today. Oh, here, let me see if I can find this. Let's see. That's so crazy going on. I also had a Nokia 2680 before it broke late March. Oh, I'm 13. Right. Let's see. Eat the potato chip in my brain. Twinkle, I will do, my friend. I will do. And I'm here I stream multiple times a day. Wow, this is the one that slid? Yeah, I never had one of these. I had a LG that flipped, and I want to say, what was the one that slid sideways and then you had a full keyboard? What's up, Blue Sky? So cold, I can't break away from your spell. So cold, I thought I knew you back so well. Number 2, Back in Black. Back in Black, number 1 with a bullet. Yes, I'm back in black. Well, I'm back. Gift from your grandma. Yeah, when I was working at the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore, I was the carpentry foreman. My brother was the HVAC foreman, and there was a guy there that was the electrical foreman. And he bought a smartphone, and he gave me this big screen LG. It was a flip phone, but it was like 3 inches by 3 inches. And he got, I can't remember if he got the first iPhone, something along those lines. Yeah, remember how the world was back then? And these things lasted, the battery in these things lasted days. Rooster, is the world ready for a clarity act? Stable coin yield, are the banks ready to billion? So here, Rooster, what we need to do first is what would need to be done first. Right now, and regardless of political affiliation, the amount of cash that leaves our airports is so unbelievably high. The reason that a lot of politicians want to switch, and a lot of people want to pay politicians to think this way, they want to switch to a digital currency so they can offload it much faster. If you've got, that needs to be done first. Until that's stabilized, there's no way a digital coin will be stable. Is it safe to eat dirt? I mean, not safe. If you know what's in the dirt and you know that it's sterile, it's not necessarily negative. But the problem is if it's got dog poop or bird poop or worm poop or other things like that and it parasites, yeah, it could be a big problem. What did I mean years for? Let us at least make VO LTE modules for older phones. They do, listen, ever since the Phoebus cartel, and that was the cartel of a bunch of light bulb manufacturers that wanted to make sure light bulbs didn't last over 2,000 hours of runtime. Ever since that was so popular, a lot of companies do that, and they don't want you, when they say that a technology is no longer available, they want it to no longer be available. Those phones were awesome, but it cost like $500 billion to load a web page, though. Brother, you can listen, Neo, you can make repeaters that have a SIM card that will take old technology from whatever antenna, whatever radio system you want, take it in, encode it, and send it back out on another radio system to put it on the cellular networks or whatnot. It's absolutely possible. It's just not financially feasible because you'd be using more battery, more radio power, frequency domains. Can't remember the term. Anyway, rather than just upgrading the cell phone, but I understand. You miss COVID-19? Yeah. Why? What do you miss about it? What you miss about it? Tell me. Tell me what you miss about it. 2G and 3G in Algeria are shutting down in 2029. Yeah, I can imagine that so it all takes power, right? It takes power, it takes electricity, it takes whatever, you miss all the rage. So with 2G and 3G, you have to have antennas that take that transmit and receive on, and then amplifiers and encoders and modems, modulators and demodulators, and when they can see how much of their network uses each system. when it drops below a threshold, it's just like it's not like they're going to lose a broad percentage of their customers by forcing a switch. All the rage. It was funny. I miss when I used to stay at home and play with my friends and I had no homework to do. Yeah, listen. What you should consider doing is think about investing your time. And what I mean by that is say, okay, for the next 3 years, I'm going to do this, this, and this, so that the 4th year, I've got everything out of the way and I can do this. And when you get older, you can expand that. You can say, okay, for the next 10 years, I'm going to work 3 jobs or whatever it is. And that's what you got to do. And then reward yourself at the end rather than just saying, I don't ever want to do anything. You've always got to trade something. Say, okay, I'll do this for this long and then I'll do this. At least I have a modded Nintendo. Wow, Nintendo Switch that runs Android. Yeah, 3 years is too long. Let's see what I miss here. 3 years. Yeah. You get older, it feels shorter. I tried to change my life, and I quit when I reached 8. Yeah, you got to try again. Listen, that's what life's about. When you fail, you have to make a plan. When you fail, you have to say, why did I fail? Change that, and then start the plan over again with a farther date. And then that's what you do. That's what failure is. You have to learn to fail and learn what to do when you fail. Everything will be fine, I promise. I did it myself at 13. There you go, brother. Yep, start slow, one thing at a time. Right, like, what are you going to do this week, then month, then 2 months, every 6 months, every year? And make plans so you always know what you're doing. If you're just sitting there wishing for something, you got to be doing something. And then every decision you make, like say you want something in a year, every decision you make, you decide, does it get you closer to that or farther from that goal? I feel like someone who's going to hack the CIM, I'm sure a lot of people try. Your parents think you have issues? Yeah, you might have issues. Talk to your parents, and do you think you're getting all of your vitamins and minerals? Do you think you're getting enough vitamin A, enough vitamin B12, enough vitamin C, D3, enough sunlight, enough calcium, magnesium? If you don't think you are, you need to bring that up to your parents and say, hey, did you know we're supposed to get this much vitamin B12? Did you know we're supposed to get this much vitamin K2? And if you're not, that may be why you're feeling the way you are. Neo's got trust issues. What up, Lewin? He's Lewin and mewing. The glue doesn't come off if I do what you said. I got allergies. Yeah, well, okay. I mean, understood. Yeah, you got to look into it. You got to look into what you think. Yeah, omega-3s, all that good stuff. I mean, it will come off, twin. It will come off. I mean, so the skin will eventually shed under it and it'll go away. So don't hurt yourself over it. But yeah, you can. I would ask an adult and say, hey, I really want to get this glue off. I mean, you can take a shower. Try that. That might help. Soak in a bath. Yep. Eat eggs. Eat beef. Don't listen to the vegans or the vegetarians, especially not in America, unless they're growing their own food. You'll be fine. I'm planning to make a new series. Bam. There we go. Okay. If I tell my mom she's going to beat my ass, that's not good. Tell your dad. Eggs and fish for the brains. Yep, eggs and fish. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. For good for everything, but yeah, especially the brains. Yep, oil could help definitely. Yeah, if you've got any like olive oil or anything like that, you could try that too. That could help break it up. Yes, it might. The best thing to do is not put glue on your skin, though. Don't put glue on your skin, no. Okay, let's see. I got glue on my skin and my parents gonna grin. They're gonna yell at me. There we go. Oh, jeez. There you go. Tell your uncle. What's up, Jim? That's okay, Monk. Glue on the skin keeps the doctor Well, at least it's not dangerous, twin. At least it's not dangerous. It will come off. It will. Absolutely. It's not a tattoo. It's not in the skin. It's on the skin. You should just start scratching on it lightly, picking it away like a scab. Same difference, Neo. If I tell my uncle, uh-oh. Okay, where are we at? Boom, 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 boom. Monk don't want to know what your uncle gonna do. Uh-oh, lights just flashed. Uh-oh. Well, if at least the power goes out, we probably got about 20 minutes before the battery backup for the Wi-Fi and modem die. Yeah. Well, then you don't want the glue off that bad. Take a bath. You're gonna cry again. Okay. Let's see what we're looking at here. You know what I should have saved? Dang it, I should have saved it. Let's check the Discord and see what anybody posted. YouTube. Oh, recipes. Oh, geez, that does look dry. Look at this. Tom posted a picture of his he made some beef jerky. That looks like herb. He says the result is a bit too dry. I could either reduce the length of dehydration, lower the temperature, cut thicker strips, or go for a cut of meat with more fat. Yep, I definitely agree. Yeah, we got really heavy rain here, brother. We got really heavy rain. Just clear glue. It doesn't peel off. Donnie T, just tangerine with limbs and shit-shaped brain. What happened? Yeah, you should try some oil on it. Try some oil on it. I don't usually... Well, that's between you and your dad, my friend. Yes, olive oil. Yeah, olive oil. Olive oil. That's what you should try. Absolutely. Yeah, any oil can help. And not car oil, but it's as long as... Yep, lemon juice could yeah, it depends. It all depends what it is, but it's not an emergency unless it's like if it's just on your leg and if it's just a little bit of glue, it will come off. I think that's enough, Monk. We don't need to be talking to kids about stuff like that. I mean, you could try it. Yeah, Twink, you need to tell your parents. You need to tell your parents. You need if it hurts, leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Yeah. Well, and you don't want to take a shower, so you don't even want to try to get it off. Okay, where are we at here? That's recipes. Let's go here. That's a lot of corn. Oh, French cow peas. Some decent ears. Alright, well, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. You guys act up before I crash out. Okay. I want to thank you. Okay, let's see. How to get glue off of skin. Let's see what happens. Your girl is here. I'ma act up. Okay, let's take a look. Hold on. Let's take a look. I gotta make sure there's no copyrighted music in it, Blue Sky, but let's see. Oh, that's you. 159. Bam. All right. Subscribe. My girlfriend's left you. What did I miss here? Hold on. Let's do this again. Get it, ladies.
What?
They say I need to choose one. Oh, yep,
Felt
screw 'em.
amazing after his new haircut.
Ain't that cute?
So what don't you want?
Pardon?
What don't you want? You know, I've been working here for 44 years. Ain't nobody ever ordered nothing but T-bone steak and a baked potato. Except this one asshole from New York
Uh-oh.
tried to order trout back in 1987.
87. I was
Sell no
told.
goddamn trout.
I was. It wasn't my idea to have two
T-bone
girlfriends.
steaks. So either you don't want the corn on the cob, or you don't want
The green beans.
So what don't you want?
I don't want green beans.
I don't want green beans either.
Steaks.
Nice. African Michael Jackson. Copyrighted.
A Jew was talking to a Chinese doctor. So he says to him, I never thought we would get along like this. The Chinese doctor said, well, why not? He said,
Uh-oh.
well, you know, Pearl Harbor. What, Pearl Harbor? I'm Chinese, not Japanese. Well, all you Orientals are like, well, the Jews sink the Titanic. Jews sank the Titanic? He says, sure. Greenberg, Goldberg, Iceberg, all the same to me.
Jeez.
Valentin Tong, love letter to Cold Towel, O Payan. My dear Payan, refreshing both.
What the fuck are you doing? I'm so sorry. I rip you out of that fucking.
Jeez. I'm a young pirate. And
Been touring for 15 years, and my favorite thing to do on tour is eat good food.
eat
My
good
favorite thing to
food.
do. Like everywhere we go, we try to find the best food. And we want to find that local.
All right, we can't watch 8 minutes full of it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Blue Sky. All right. Pretty little baby. Short edit list. Light vitamins. Asian racism is not welcome. I agree. I agree. Things in my P.O. box. Ooh, what's that? What is that? could have swore I created a freaking Hujabab. All right, twin. Go take care of it, brother. Why? Okay, where are we gonna find? Bam, bam. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Ooh, that looks pretty cool too. Oh, that looks pretty cool. There we go. Chinese beauty filters.
Morning, welcome back. You
Hey.
person with a nose. So,
I got a
beautifying
nose.
face filters. We love them, right? I will say the first person who invented them was really cooking when they looked at one of those Japanese sticker photo booths and thought, what if we could make ourselves anime in real life? With the biggest eyes, smoothest skin, and most triangular faces known to man. Guess who's jealous of this face shape? Doritos. We then transformed this fun pastime of putting our selfies through kawaii filters into a modern day miracle.
Kawaii.
No need to spend hours grooming yourself when you could look put together with a click of a button. With how refined these filters have become, the changes to your face can be so subtle where it still looks like you, except you won the best prize at the genetic lottery and ended up with the most optimized face you could ever achieve.
Optimized
I'm sure that
genetics.
won't have any negative effects on our mental health years down the line.
Right.
Most social media apps where you can take photos of yourself will have beautifying effects built right into the
Every
app that are
culture is
automatically
racist.
on
Whites are
until you
least
choose to
racist.
turn them
Asians
off.
are
But
very
you know, as long as we have a
racist.
choice, then there is no harm done. Until we start realizing, hey, is our generation's standard of modern beauty just sexy pixels on a screen and nobody actually looks like their pictures in real life? Not a fan of your face shape, nose, and eye size? No worries, slap a filter on and turn into a Xiaohongshu influencer overnight.
Oh,
Comes with a new
wow.
overnight
Look at
body
that.
proportions.
Look
Looking
at
a little
that. Let's do that. Look at that. Look at her nose go from that.
your face shape,
Look at that. Big old honker like mine.
nose, and eye size?
Two.
No worries, slap a filter on and turn into a Xiaohongshu influencer
Bam.
overnight. Comes with a new wig and everything. Body proportions. Looking a little lackluster? No worries, a filter can stretch out your limbs so you can model motorcycles on the runway with a fresh new wig. The effects from the filters can range from simple fixes, like making you look refreshed
That's
with a full
so
8 hours of beauty
freaking
sleep, to
crazy.
more heavy-duty tasks where your laptop will start making jet engine noises as it changes you into an entirely different person.
No
New face and all.
way. Look at that.
At least they're generous with their free wigs. Who's they? Fashion Nova? Maybe? This is great when you're on the run avoiding the law. Kinda bad though if you go missing. Think about it. All we're gonna have left of you to use for your missing person.
And that
photo is
actually
your yassified
happened. There
selfies.
was actually a, let me see if I can find it. Girl goes missing and can't be found because all of her pictures are social media filtered. All right, let's say a 30-year-old woman named Grega Guadalupe Mendoza went missing in Mexico, immediately used photos from her social media, but the images have been so heavily altered with beauty filters that her actual face was unrecognizable. Locals and witnesses could not connect the woman on the posters to her real appearance, causing confusion during critical search hours. Fortunately, she was found alive 4 days later, but it sparked major debate over that wackadoo. Crazy.
Are so airbrushed and so smoothed out, they're gonna slide right off the side of the milk carton. Ask video game designers to make the Tomb Raider lady. This is what she would look like. With today's modern beauty standards, the filter use on everyone's social media post is rampant. It's almost as common as sliced bread. Everyone's looking real good and real similar these days because they're all using the same attractive face mask. Next thing you know, these filters are gonna start bleeding into our candid photos, like pictures of a kid's first birthday party or a holiday Christmas card you send your loved ones. Damn, even the Christmas tree can't get by without getting nipped and tucked. Something's off about this picture. Why is she Elf on the Shelf size? Also, anyone else notice her hair ate her arms for nutrients to grow longer? When do we draw the line at what photos need to be deep fried and processed into unattainable standards before we can let people see them? Cause I don't want to look back at family portraits and see the dog mogging the 3-month-old newborn. Confucius says that's a bad omen. James, what was that? I'm
Yeah,
sure we'll
dude.
come across that later in the video. That was startling. Just like freak accidents when they hit you in the face out of the blue, usually catching you off guard when you don't have the time to be dealing with this. Like trying to find a doctor after hours. You know when you decide to make a simple light snack before bedtime, which was actually a midnight snack, that somehow got turned into a full-course dinner service at Hell's Kitchen, where you ended up cutting your finger, chopping vegetables, and tweaking your back after slipping on the oil from the Peking duck you finished roasting
Peking.
at 3 in the morning. Health issues, they don't always follow a 9-to-5 schedule. But hey, at least ZocDoc is there for you to help you find a doctor at any time of the day or night. ZocDoc is a free app and website that helps you find and book high-quality in-network doctors so you can find someone you love. With more than 150,000
ZocDoc.
providers nationwide, you can find someone who matches exactly
of
what you're looking
wackadoo.
for. Like
How
having the
dare the
option for an
Asians be
in-person
racist,
visit or
being
just to
that
view
ugly?
from home. ZocDoc lets
Welcome
you search
back,
by
twin.
specialty or symptom across 200 plus specialties to find the
Oh,
right care
whatever.
fast.
Oh,
A
we'll put it in a
dermatologist, dentist, a primary care doctor, or anything in between. With so many options available to us these days, knowing what your doctor is actually like is just as important as their credentials. Thanks to verified patient reviews on ZocDoc, you'll know beforehand if your provider gets straight down to business or enjoys a pleasant chat about the weather or your new favorite TV show. Once you find the right fit, book using their real-time availability. Most appointments happen fast, within 24 to 72 hours, and sometimes even on the same day. No need to wait or play phone tag. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/invasion to find
There
and
you
instantly
go.
book a doctor you love today. That's ZocDoc.com/invasion, ZocDoc.com/invasion. Thanks, ZocDoc, for sponsoring
Thanks
this
you.
message.
Thank you, ZocDoc. Why aren't I recalling?
So
I was
why
waiting
have
to
we gotten so
recall,
used to
Space
everyone
Cow, brother.
living with a permanent
I
beauty
was
filter?
woken by someone yelling, wakey, wakey, hands off Snakey. Not 100% sure I know what they meant. My boys at Catchy. Hands off Snakey. What's up, Dave? An apple a day does keep the doctor away. Right, so most of us aren't taking enough vitamins and minerals, twin. So yeah, so eating apples and things of the like can give you the vitamins and minerals. Most of the reasons we need to go to the doctor is because we don't have the proper amount of vitamins and minerals. So it can help. That's why that works. The doctor,
They're on their face at all times. Last time I checked, people don't just wake up with the same skin texture as a Barbie after
I do.
drinking cups of water. Well, science says, after we've rewired our brains with all these quick hits of dopamine when scrolling, we've become kind of addicted to them now. Beauty filters create an illusion of abundance in perfect
yeah,
faces. They
that
don't
might
just-
be why you're having the feelings that you're having, the issues that you might be having. You probably have a vitamin or mineral deficiency.
Enhance photos. They can reshape what we believe is typical, what we believe is desirable, and what we believe we must look like to be worthy of attention, love, and respect. And when a tool changes the standards of attractiveness at scale, it doesn't stay a personal choice, it becomes a social force. The psychological problem isn't that people knowingly post a touched up image, it's that filters normalize an appearance that very few people can achieve without editing. And they do it so often that your brain begins treating it like baseline reality. So we've basically brainwashed ourselves into thinking 9 out of 10
The
people we see online-
universe. The reverse is also true. Twinkle, a doctor a day keeps the apples away. That's true. That's true. I've never seen a medical professional in an orchard. That Dave. Good freaking point. Good freaking point. This is why I love this community. I'm going to do plastic surgery. I don't need filters. Right. That's what ends up happening. Is especially people that grow up on the internet using filters. When you become an adult and it's time to go out in the real world, you want people to see you in the real world the way the internet sees you. So then people end up getting plastic surgery at much younger ages. Do you think it's wise to peel apples before eating? If you buy your apples, they're going to have been sprayed with some sort of pesticide in most countries. If that is the case, peel the apple. If you grow your own, eat the whole apple. Absolutely. Hey, there you go, twin. All you needed to do was work at it. See? You make a plan and a goal. Your goal was to remove the glue. And you failed at it a few times, and then you succeeded. Brazil is ranked the second on plastic surgeries. Oh yeah, that's where the BBL name comes from. Brazilian butt lift.
are models, when in fact, only 1 of the 10 people didn't alter their appearance in some way. This is also kind of bad for dating, when you're trying to rizz up someone that doesn't even exist. You know how they say there's a loneliness epidemic? Natural features, texture, asymmetry, aging, weight fluctuation, start to look like flaws instead of normal biology. Attraction becomes less about real compatibility and more about whether someone resembles a filtered template. Over time, that can reduce empathy in dating culture and increase pressure.
Yeah,
to
because
compete
you
visually.
feel
And that's why you got
betrayed.
people falling for AI scams, sending all their life savings to a sexy Brad Pitt after he messages you, "Help, I was in a
Right.
fight club. I need
I was in a fight club."
100K to pay for Ocean's 19. Let me tell ya, you won't find anywhere less accepting of other beauty types than in Asia. Representing yourself online in the best way possible, with a set of highly edited, curated, and perfectly framed photos that took over 3 hours to prepare for, is light work. Their selfie culture over there is on X Games mode. The more you can show off
I
your
put
social
more
class,
glue on
your
my
outer
leg. It
appearance,
was
and material
let it
goods,
cool
the more
when I was
successful
taking off
you'll
the
be
glue in my
perceived
leg,
as.
but it
You know
hurt
what's
and
bad
then,
when China started banning accounts they considered wealth flaunting after all the
No, twin. If you do that, you are what we would call stupid. Just because it gained you attention for a few minutes on the internet does not mean you should do something else that might end up in a hurtful thing. No. Yeah.
Rich Nepo babies flooded everyone's feeds, showing off their lavish lifestyles. With their
Yeah, I
brand name
agree.
Gucci houses, Prada bathtubs, and Louis Vuitton G-Wagons. Looks are a very high form of social currency. There's even a celebrity influencer street in China, where photographers will hang around and take pictures of influencers casually walking around, which isn't seen as creepy, since the influencers get dolled up to walk down the street, wanting to get their photos taken. This is a setup. These are as candid as those celebrity street interviews that totally weren't set up 1,000 months in advance. This is probably the most real I
Good.
ever see these people. Cause if everyone's using crazy beauty filters that morph men into yaoi characters and women into manhwa slot main characters, then these body types are gonna be considered a normal expectation to have with
Normality.
your date before they walk
Yeah,
into the
stick
restaurant.
legs, definitely. Boobs.
Wow, she could fit an entire 3-course dinner on those things, and he will eat it all in one bite. It's why anime characters don't translate well into real life. Exaggerated features only work in make-believe scenarios. Otherwise, it looks scary.
Me? I don't know,
James,
brother.
I feel danger. I'm in danger.
I
So let's
wanted,
talk
I
about
wanted,
the-
it was talking about the Chinese beauty filters, and I was hoping he was going to get into the psychology. So we'll see if he does. I was hoping he would get into the science and the psychology, but we'll see.
Colors that make up an Asian beauty filter. They are making you look fit and skinny, shrinking down
And
your face.
I think it's
and
good for people to understand what this can cause. It's not just turning a filter on. It's not just blah, blah, blah. No. You're destroying yourself. You're destroying your image of yourself. So much money is made on plastic surgery from people that have dysphoria because they're so used to using their filtered image on their phone as their mirror for their makeup and everything. Then when they look in the real mirror, they're like, I don't know who this person is, because they spend hours looking into their phone. You know what I mean? And then only moments looking into the actual mirror. And it'd be absolutely destructive. That's what I was hoping he'd get into.
statuesque body proportions. The most unrealistic part of
Yeah.
this video
And
is
it
how
will
they let
lower
the
your
metal
self-esteem.
detector with just a glance. Hello? This thing even on? She waved it around like she's scanning for the missing sense of urgency she should have as airport security. Or maybe I'm just traumatized. I can't even get through TSA without getting heart palpitations. They're so loud and angry.
Yeah, I don't know why he's adding it. I guess it's the meme culture that
If you
why he
could walk
adds
to
so
the other
much
side
stuff
of
to
the room
him.
in 2 strides, then you have the perfect body. There was even a trend where they gathered a bunch of Chinese influencers and had them show off their legs in this viral leg sweeping dance.
Let's see.
Into their filter technology, but
There you
it goes
go.
crazy. When it can realistically make you look like a different person
Self-esteem
without
maxing.
glitching, imagine
Rampage
what this
Jackson is
amazing
pretty
invention
funny.
can do in the wrong hands.
Oh,
So, this is Pink Che, a high-end editorial model born in 2002. She's got 100K followers, and I'm assuming the flags in her bio mean she's half Chinese, half Korean. In any case, she is the quintessential representation of Asian beauty standards, all melded into one being, with her cold, AI beauty doll-like features, and graceful
that looks
elegance in the
horrible.
form of long legs.
Good idea. Good idea.
Her photos showcase her extravagant lifestyle,
And she's
modeling
fake.
around, where she's got nothing to prove, everything in place. Well, not everything is in place as you take a closer look at some of her pictures. First off, her neck seems to be trying
Jeez,
to
look at those
detach
ears,
itself
too.
from her body, while a ghost of
That's the
former
problem. Because
weight
what are
seems
you
to be
gonna
floating around her
do?
head.
What
It's
are you gonna do when you have kids and they look like you before the wackadoo? The
She used
wackadoo.
2 beauty filters on top of each other to give herself a long, slender body type, but they both had different ideas in mind, and she ended up as evil Nami from One Piece. This is very editorial, though. If you're selling
Evil
men's
Nami.
podcasts for vampires, okay, maybe she just goes over.
Yeah, brother.
Here she is, all dolled up, celebrating her birthday with a nice dress, some cake, enough champagne to fill the Nile, and this pincer arm that looks like it came from
Wow.
another species. You finna okay? This angle seems painful. Okay. Maybe she's got a case of beauty filter blindness. We've all been there before. You just gotta grow out of it. Cause according to Pink Che, live the life you want and dream of. It's the stupidest thing not to enjoy life. You know what? Hell yeah, brother. Who cares what others have to say when you're built like a sim with randomized body parts? Honestly, I don't even think she can stand up. Everything about this is ergonomically
Fake.
incorrect. Her neck
No
looks
one
huge next to her
needs
tiny
plastic
little
surgery
head.
to
We've
become
also
a
got a
man.
case
I
of
agree.
missing
Yeah, she
ribs.
definitely looks fake.
If you're eating some right now, stop. They might be on your plate. All I gotta say is, be careful, girl. Mommy, be careful. The mosquitoes. If you keep posting these body teeth thirst traps, the OMG, what beautiful curves, I'm in love, marry me guy will be all up in your comments, along with other fun questions like, can she get pregnant? Where will the baby live?
Where will the baby
Well,
live?
when I think
Could
of my
you
baby
use the computer to make totally fake off my? Yeah, and a lot of people do. Like almost half of all the models on OF are AI now. Yeah, and there's organizations that run the. They're trying to teach. What do they call it? Train the AI so that they can do real life chat back and forth. And then when you say, "Oh, send me a video of freaking blah 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 blah," AI will make the video and then ship it out. Yeah, so that's a lot. Like so, and this was last year. I heard that half.
Store in an ideal scenario, I wanted to live
And
in
the
a
thing is, with every girl that joins OnlyFans, they get a peak, and then as the people get used to her, it trails off. So then you either have to do something more extreme to get the action back, and then it trails off again. So what these people do is they just keep creating. So every 2 or 3 months, they just create another, and then there's hundreds and hundreds of companies, organizations doing that. Yeah, people got to stop doing that. I've never even been on the site. Yep, I agree. Right. They won't stop doing it till you stop paying for it. Yeah, me too. I hate it. I think it's absolutely horrible. I think it's destroyed and like it's destroyed dating culture because a lot of girls that were advertising their OnlyFans on dating sites would talk you up, be like, "Oh my God, you're so hot. I really want this and this and that from you." And then, "Oh, I can't make it tonight, but here's my OF to see what you'll see next date." You know, and then people do because they're already all turned on and worked up, and it's just a freaking scam.
own 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom condo unit away from me. Don't want any of that nonsense in my house until it's at least 5 years old. As we go further down Pink Che's feed, you'll start to notice something strange. Instead of seeing someone start off with a mild to moderate use of beauty filters, she didn't go from 0 to 100. She started at 100.
Right.
What's Victoria's secret? I don't really want to know. Does Victoria know about this?
If I
The most
didn't
conservative
care,
part. This
If I didn't care, I would try Ozempic before trying a facelift, but there is no way. It's too... Yeah, listen. And there's other things that you can do. Remember, GLP-1 is glycogen like protein. So there's other ways that you can get those proteins activated in your body without using the artificial version. And that's what you should be looking into if you want to try that. The big problem is that it all comes back when you stop. So you're either going to be on Ozempic or Mounjaro or whatever for the rest of your life, or you can use it and then learn to get your eating habits and whatnot in order, because people don't get that in order, and then they just stay on it for way too long. It doesn't melt the fat away. It slows down, and it can paralyze your stomach so that you eat food and it stays in there for 4 hours rather than 90% of it being gone or 80% of it being gone in 4 hours. So then you don't have room in your stomach to put anything else. But once it wears off after about 2 weeks, you're just going to go right back on for it. And the food noise jumps up exponentially when you stop taking it. And they know this. They've known this since the 80s, the late 80s. Glucogen-like protein. There you go. What did I say? Glycogen. Yeah, glucogen. Shit, if I would become a multimillionaire million nerd for posting pictures of my fruits online, I would as well. But the problem is most girls don't. Like 99.9% lie about what they're doing. It's like Avon. It's a multi-level marketing scheme. Girls will lie about how much they're making, post fake screenshots, because you could look at their tax returns and they're lying, but they're hoping to get 20, 40, 50 other girls under them that are also making a few $1,000s a month. So then they get 10% of that for the first X number of months. So it's multi-level marketing scam. The only people making money are the pimps. Food volume increases GLP sex, eat soaked chia seeds. Food volume. Have you heard of Jello diet? I've heard of the Jello diet too. Yeah. One of the biggest things that I've seen people use is anti-parasitic. So anti-parasitics are very nutrient dense, and stuff like that can work really, really well. Like Paragard, like what the stuff that me and my family use. You like spicy food? Yeah, no, that'll work too. But yeah, so understanding supplementation is also very important. Your body says, I need these vitamins and minerals. You put food in your mouth that does not contain them, and then your body is still starving. So it says, I didn't get what I needed from that food. Do that again. Do that again. Do that again. And then because the amount of actual nutrition in the food typically is so low, you can eat 5 times the amount. Only drink Diet Coke.
A risque outfit she seems to have worn to Disneyland, but her chin and her shoulder
and her eyes
so sharp. There's a magnetic pull between them, trying to connect them together. Guess who's jealous of her arms? Suits with shoulder pads. Hey, at least she cares about people. Nothing worse than when a friend posts a group photo with you in it, and you're the only one looking
yeah, good on.
They only Facetune their own face. Pink Che, she'll never leave you hanging. Whenever she posts a picture with a friend, they will also get the exact same beauty treatment as her. Big wig, thick ears that will give everyone whiplash. Oh my. Behind this bang, her ear is about to grow into another head.
Jeez.
And finally, her most viral post and crowning achievement is this picture of her at a fashion show, sitting there casually watching a fashion show. Or
look at how small her head is and her ears. That's gotta.
How did she manage to edit this photo where she looks like this and everyone else looks normal? I think the only explanation. This is real.
Goblins.
Maybe we
better find them.
Maybe it's AI. It's probably AI. This is actually how it feels when you overdress for an event. Except, you wore your character from a webtoon series bodysuit instead of your human one. You know what's strange? She actually looks normal behind the filters. There's like 2 posts where she's doing clean girl makeup and bareface beauty. I mean, there's still a touch of filter going on, but this is the most natural we've ever seen Pink Che. You know what I'm thankful for? Her finally sanding down her shoulders. Those things were a danger to the public. Or wait, did she get those after this post? I don't know, man. This lore is so confusing. I'm genuinely wondering, is the crazy use of filters just for clout, or can they not post pictures of themselves without all the heavy editing?
Yeah, that's crazy.
A concerning amount of these Asian influencers using beauty filters in the strangest way. It must be a trend or something.
손님, 뭐 대가리가 좀 반피이신데요? 약간 됐다고요. 머리가. 응? 좋댔다니까요.
Oh God, no.
I'm gonna go find me a snack. And don't worry, I'll eat it without using a white
Brother, find them, man. What do you?
filter. I think I can manage that. So the next time you start feeling jealous when doom scrolling through people's awesome lives, just remember it's all fake. And everyone's
Yes,
doing
scary,
X-Men,
right?
cosplay,
Oh, there you go. There you go. Look at this. Look at this.
Remember, it's all fake. And
I'm not
everyone's
saying
doing
you would lie, but
X-Men,
what,
cosplay,
I can't help you.
Shifting, retouching, and reorganizing their facial features until they've turned into something that doesn't even exist in the real world. Come on, guys. Why are you envious of pixels on a screen?
That's so crazy. That stuff's so crazy. Nut butts. Something, definitely something wrong. I like what is actually going on inside those brain cells? Like, I mean, and what is she looking at before she hits post? Before she hits send? Like when her neck is 8 feet too long and her head is 3 times too small for the width of the shoulders, and like it's like there's one part that she's looking at that's got her mind in a mush. And she looks at it, she's like, okay, my nose looks right, go. And she didn't even look at her freaking eyes or how her ears are all like melted out and pulled because it's just that made she wanted to make sure. That's what I'm thinking. Right, and because people hit, I love you. I like natural look better than perfection is perfect. Right. People don't understand that though. And I think that's because these kids have been brought up on the internet rather than being introduced to it. Yeah. In your opinion, what percentage of good-looking thoughts here use digital enhancements? 99, easily 99%. Yeah. Well, let's see if there's any data. Let's see. No, well, so Instagram, 80 to 90% of women and young girls use filters or edit their photos before posting on social media platforms like Instagram. Basic color adjustments to altering physical features like skin tones, reshaping jaw, changing nose shapes. City University of London, widely cited study found that 90%. Dove Self-Esteem Project found that by age 13, 85% of girls have used an app or filter to change. 80%, 94% of young women feel the pressure to look a certain way on social media. It looks like a Hollywood problem or TV modeling problem. I think that's what they're measuring up against. And think about the companies who created the app, that created the filter app. They're going to pay good-looking influencers to say, oh my God, I use this every day. And then every other girl's going like, oh my God, she's so beautiful and she's got 17 million followers. Download. If she does it, it's okay. And that's what it is. It's all how it's marketed to them. They like to change their skin to look whiter. Yeah, right. Instead of putting a bunch of makeup on, which takes a long time. So instead, and this is how they talk themselves into it. They say, well, I would put makeup on for 3 hours, defining my face and not profiling. What's it called? Where they like put dark colors on to make their nose look smaller or wider or deeper. Edging. Not edging. What's it called? Not profiling. There's a term for it. What's it called? Makeup term. Contouring. So but if they want to go to work not wearing that, they'll just say, I'll do my makeup the way I'll normally do it, and then I'll post something with a different filter on. A lot of people lie to themselves and say it's just like using makeup or getting plastic surgery, which I could do in real life, so it's not being deceitful, it's not being deceptive, but it absolutely is. So online has become an alternate universe. Yes, absolutely. It's become an absolute alternate universe. And that the problem is it's become an alternate universe for the people on it themselves. They don't see themselves in the mirror. Like, dude, I've seen, when I've been out and about, I've seen girls that like jump out of the frame when other people are taking pictures because they want to make sure that anything that goes on the internet has the proper filtering because they have a brand to protect. And it's crazy. Some people consider themselves a brand and some people consider themselves operating a brand. But the problem is you can't consider yourself a brand. You're just... Yeah, it's bad. It hurts a lot of people. Contouring. Yeah. I'm not a fan of mangoes, and I don't know why. It just doesn't, for some reason. My mom has a slight mango allergy, and I just do not like the. I don't like mango. My dad does. My brother and sister do. I bet the elites aren't going to let their kids on devices. Brother, I heard you like pineapple guavas. I heard that what's his face, Mark Zuckerberg, gives his kids phones with no cameras. Why? So they can't take pictures, or so that they can't be seen? One in three. You got to fill in the third. They can't be watched. Well, I lie. I never tried, but I planted one. Pineapple guavas. I like pineapple guavas. Pineapple guavas. All right, let me see what we can find here. And it's just gonna get worse. Well before it gets better. You know, it's gonna get. People are gonna have issues. People and the whole thing online with changing the way you look, it's gonna break a lot of people, and it's gonna make a lot of companies a lot of money, especially makeup companies and freaking their plastic surgery doctors. I thought the Asians liked the whiter color because of class issue, higher class versus working class is what I always thought. That's why they cared about so much. Yeah, and that's definitely true too. That's true in a lot of countries, a lot of cultures. The I saw this thing here. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. All right. Jeez, here it is.
Did you go outside today?
This is a different guy.
Anyways, would you like to try my new skin whitening cream?
That's a different guy. Same layout. I had a pineapple guava tree. It was technically a feijoa. The things are good even when the buds flowers are sweet. My mom is planting sugar apples. There you go. Get you some. White people want to be orange. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's just the people you're around. People want to be different. So if you're white and you're around a bunch of white people, you want to look different than the average person. If you're black and you're around a bunch of black people, you want to look different. If you're Asian and you're around a bunch of Asian people, you want to look different. This is why they make their eyes bigger and they change their skin colors and stuff like that. It's just, you want to stand out. And that's just a freaking part of human nature. Oops.
I was was diagnosed with ASPD and Factor 1 psychopathy. In order to receive these diagnoses, I had to be completely devoid of guilt. And this is what it was like growing up without guilt. People might think it was challenging, but it was an absolute breeze. I never understood why you would feel bad about something that you've already done and you can't undo it. It just feels like a toxic emotion that you're just trying to self-flagellate with. So while normal people would compete with their number 2, I pushed her down the stairs. She told me that I was only getting higher marks than her because I have a dad and her dad died. And I was like, don't you jinx my dad, you little piece of shit. You can't blame your academic problems on me. Academics, that was my thing.
Yeah, she's got those crazy
I had a
eyes,
high
and they
IQ,
changed the color of the eyes.
199
Yeah,
when I was
definitely
in
looks
high
weird.
school, and I'm never testing it again.
Pancakes.
No one sees this as some sort of toxic, unneeded emotion. But I do understand that without guilt, we would live in a very questionable society.
Yeah, we do live in a very questionable society.
Promise that
She
you'll
went
be
from
glowing
Michael
by
Jackson
the end of the
nose.
year. Now, the trend of having white and pale skin
139
in Asia
IQ.
has
That's
been
one
like
more
around
point
forever.
than me.
Either that be through skincare, makeup, or most beloved,
Yeah,
Chinese filters. But there are many people in China right now going to these sketchy beauty clinics to get hooked up to these IV drips and these
99,
skin
yeah,
whitening
yeah,
injections to become paler from the inside out. You also can't forget about our whitening creams that
It's
completely
gonna be my
bleach your
cat's
skin,
birthday.
which
There
is
you go,
completely
twin.
safe and totally not full of poisonous mercury that can cause kidney failure. But here's the thing, the glowing white skin obsession didn't just appear randomly. I mean, they've been brewing, they've been cooking this for centuries. I mean, back in the Heian era of China, being pale wasn't just about beauty. It was a literal
Amongst the
flex.
1%.
If you had pale skin, it meant you were rich.
I mean, you might know her better than I do,
Out there under the sun
too.
doing
You might know her better than I do, Monk. After another video or two, I'd probably, I might
manual
skip.
labor work. Most likely you were,
Especially if
sitting
she's gonna
inside,
throw me down some
sipping
stairs.
Molly tea of that era and enjoying your best life. So skin tone essentially became a social ranking system. Now fast forward to
There you
modern
go.
China, and guess what?
There you go.
Didn't change that much. If anything, it got a whole rebrand, and there's also a marketing team behind it now. A lot
So
of
yeah,
Asian
Blue
celebrities
Sky,
and
yep,
entire
you're right.
aesthetics still prefer a lighter
Yeah,
skin
sure,
tone
but
because
I
the yellow
know.
undertone apparently looks dull.
I know why they do that because they don't like how I look. That's correct. Yep. You face palmed yourself.
Paler skin looks younger, cleaner, and hides many imperfections like dark circles or freckles. Which, okay, I get wanting clear skin, but since when did we decide that the solution was to look like a ghost? I mean, you've got actual celebrities like Lin Qiling who openly admitted that after she accidentally got tanned, she immediately went to get skin whitening injections. And then you've got external influences adding to the fire like K-pop promoting glass
the
skin
voice was
and
crazy.
Chinese influencers looking like they haven't seen sunlight since 2003. I mean, people in China are going absolutely all out.
No
to avoid the sun.
way.
It's like avoiding the planet.
Imagine the depression from the lack of vitamin D. Imagine.
At this point, we're talking UV umbrellas, full body coverage, and the absolute masterpiece of human.
See, they
innovation.
don't even care to be in the real world. They're making sure they're the color they want to be on the internet.
The Peekaboo Polo. It's like a hoodie that's like mixed with a dress shirt that covers your entire face. And then you get these tiny eye holes and a zip for your mouth. So you look like a ninja, but also like you're about to rob a bank. With amazing
The Casper
I mean, one
epidemic.
seller even said, if multiple
Yeah,
people
both,
wear this,
both,
during the day,
yes,
you won't know
both.
which one is your wife. At night, she removes the hood and you'll recognize her. On Xiaohongshu and Weibo, people are calling themselves sun protection warriors. And I mean, we got a whole skill tree for
Warriors.
this. The beginner level, just a cap and a disposable mask, light work. The intermediate level, now we're talking. Sunglasses, long sleeves, long pants, umbrella.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I got heavy rain
And
too,
the advanced
brother.
level,
Real
full
heavy.
face kini covering your neck, a long robe, and calf-length socks so your ankles don't get tanned. This blogger over here called it her armor when riding a motorcycle. Another netizen said, "You look like an assassin." To me, it looks like the sun is her biggest awe.
Right.
This girl even got told that she looked like the wife of a Dubai prince, and someone replied, "You haven't done enough. Your hands aren't even covered." Isn't going out like this a bit too much? I've been brainwashed by all the bloggers and can't tell if it's actually working or not. There are so many conflicting opinions online.
No, there's not.
Well, but yeah, this level of dedication
Yeah,
to
I like
avoiding
it.
the
I like
sun,
it when it's not violent.
they're built different. And once people got this invested, of course, they're gonna take it even further. Which brings us to these sketchy underground clinics that offer these skin whitening injections. Yep, straight into your
dude.
bloodstream to get rid of all your melanin. Sign me up. People go to these unofficial beauty clinics, sit down, and get hooked up to these IV drips, and the liquid slowly goes into their body over time. And after about a couple of
That's
weeks or
so
so,
crazy.
your skin will be as bright as your future, which might not be so bright after taking that.
我宝贝又来打
Brother, Jim,
这一次是第7次了哦。
this is how they do it. One of these clinics hires the hottest influencer girl on the internet. She says that she uses it, and then everyone down the pyramid wants that too, because they think I'm hotter than she is. I'm just not popular because I don't have this product in my life.
明显的白，现在比我的还白，还不白，还要多白，这么白，宝贝真。
Yeah, that's crazy.
等你打完10次，你可能就是白里透红的那种了。
So yeah, it's not like a one-time thing. You need continuous daily drips for like 10 sessions. So you're basically committing to a skin whitening subscription where
That's
you have to go there every single day,
crazy.
sit down, and
Yeah,
let these,
definitely weird
mysterious
people.
chemicals marinate inside of you. Won't putting so much on my face cause adverse reactions? Product quantity used by 3 customers. Oh, okay, so it's completely safe. What's the price? Can I do it myself at home? Private. So you can see that there's these really sketchy accounts that are obviously unofficial, and they're
Yeah.
offering these private procedures behind closed doors to anybody who's commenting or interested. It's a very obvious thing.
Yeah,
don't want this in
listen,
the public eye.
like, dude, you need sunlight. You need sunlight to hit your skin. This has to happen. These people are probably going to end up with skin cancer and stuff. They're definitely going to wind up with psychological issues from the lack of vitamin D. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they're even showing proof of results, which can obviously be faked. I mean, this is just one of the many sketchy e-commerce businesses that happen all over Xiaohongshu. I mean, a couple of days ago, I was at one of those Chinese medicine shops, you know, like the ones where the ginseng is like stacked on top of each other across the shelves. Yeah, I mean, I was like scrolling through Douyin and like a bunch of different kinds of these procedures came out. And well, what do you know? My data completely turned off while I was in there. Maybe they just didn't want me to find something out that I shouldn't. And speaking of data, I've been using this eSIM
Yeah,
app
here
called
it goes.
Saley, and it fixes like
You
all
go
of
give
those
it
issues.
to a
You know,
monk.
instead of like arriving at the airport and then getting a kind Chinese auntie
Dude,
to help you buy.
too much. Should we treat music like alcohol? Rock music? Should we treat music like alcohol? What you mean?
A SIM card.
Rock
Please
music.
Just leave her alone. All you gotta do is just download Amber app with like a minute. It works on Android. % discount for go to this video called Injections. They contain 3 ingredients: tranexamic acid, glutathione, and vitamin C.
Glutathione.
First up, tranexamic acid is actually a blood clotting agent, which also makes your skin a bit more paler, with the increased risk of skin cancer. though.
Right. That's
Reasonable,
exactly
you know?
what I said. That's exactly what I said. Yes, you need melanin. You absolutely do. You need sunlight to hit your skin. This is freaking crazy. They're shortening these people's lives. Absolutely. And they're just going to go back into the medical industry and make more money off of these people when they start to die.
Next is glutathione, which actually helps detoxify the liver. So it might sound like the healthy one on paper, right? But thing is, you're not eating foods that just contain it and like slowly over time, you're dumping a whole bucket of it into your blood. And then there's vitamin C, oranges. Yum, everyone's favorite. The most safe ingredient, right? Except in high doses, it causes diarrhea and blood clotting. So it circles all the way back to tranexamic acid. So imagine all of these combined, injected into an IV drip directly inside of you, all for that glow up. And despite the name whitening
That's
injection, there's actually
crazy.
no
Yes,
such
they
thing
need to
as this in
touch
China
grass.
as, like, an official
Absolutely.
approved product. They're basically cooking up their own DIY potion here. Which brings us to this disturbing case of an influencer called Little Angel.
Here you go.
She said that she's been getting these whitening injections for 6 years. At first, everything seemed fine. Like her skin was getting lighter and the results were actually working. So of course, like any normal person would, she just kept going with it for years. And the side effects gradually started kicking in. So what started happening was that the skin on her face actually started to harden and her nose began to start rotting and ulcerating.
There
also,
you go.
the area under her eyes
So this is from lack of sunlight.
became like extremely swollen and dark. Like this is absolutely horrifying. And she says she did not use any fake products, like everything was genuine. She followed the routine exactly as instructed, and doctors even told her at the beginning that your skin, yeah, you'll look whiter at first, but long-term use can cause ulcers. But I mean, she just ignored it. She said that she was going to the doctors every single week during this treatment phase. And
Vitamin D is what repairs and heals your body. It's a corticosteroid.
She went through 2 rhinoplasty surgeries just to repair her nose. And even after 2 years of continuous treatment, still she had swelling under her cheeks and eyes. And this was a big wake-up call for her and most netizens. I mean, she begged people to learn from her mistakes and avoid these procedures, as I mean, they are unofficial, so they really can ruin your life. I mean, there was even another woman who fell into a coma just after 3 injections. Just 3 injections. And it's not just the injections themselves, because sometimes people mix and combine them with fillers, such as hyaluronic acid. Boy, did I miss you. But this is just one side of the industry that those brave people who are super desperate for having pale skin.
That's not brave. It's stupid. There's a difference between bravery and stupidity.
As brave, they have a solution for it. And these are the so-called whitening creams, with the promise of miracle glowing results, done at the comfort of your own home. So we are doing an entire paint job on our body now until we look like a celestial being. Creams are much safer, guys. I mean, it's just something you apply to your skin. So no needles, no IV drips, right? None of that. It's completely done without side effects. Until you realize many of these creams have mercury in it. Yeah, mercury, as in toxic heavy metals, and excessive amounts of it. And why? Because it completely stops melanin production and instantly makes you lighter. So technically, yeah, it works, but you know,
that's
at the cost
freaking
of completely ruining
crazy.
your kidneys, damaging your brain, and just almost dying from it. Yeah, this looks completely normal to me. You totally don't look like a vampire or somebody suffering from blood loss.
接下来就是全身大牛奶光。扫完一遍以后，我还在局部黑色素比较重的地方着重做了一个精准光。咱就说这大鱼和明星有啥区别？到这一步的时候就已经出现端倪喽。最后全身再刷上厚厚的大白，等待30分钟，我已经变成一条美人鱼了，这里真的好搞笑。但是此时此刻已经非常期待做完的效果。给你们看看我做完的样子，就连关节、手肘处都白嫩到不行。
Now, I understand if they're trying to go for that Michelin Man undertone, but, you know, makeup is always an option.
Right.
How stupid of me. I forgot. That's temporary. We need fast results and permanent results, which inevitably leads us to people paying hundreds of dollars.
Right, and guess what color they're going to be? Dead.
Official online whitening creams, because apparently expensive equals safe. And looking at the instant side effects that start showing, I mean, you see patch marks on your skin. You start to get these crazy allergic reactions.
Nobody's
one Chinese
smart.
media report actually
There's a problem with college, with education. People, they get a degree in a sliver in one topic. And they think because they got it that they understand everything. The problem with schools, colleges, is they only teach you primarily the courses, the curriculums that you're majoring in, not what's going on in the rest of the world. So they think that because they're overeducated compared to the average person in one main topic, they think that they know everything. And so, and it goes to that Dunning-Kruger effect. What do you mean? Never mind. 50% physical, 50% mind. Right. Yeah, not all, but they're available. And imagine the competition between women there. Do you know what Zhongshu is? It's called Leftover Women. If women hit the age of, I think it's 27 without getting married, they're considered leftover women. And so they want to make sure that they get a husband by 27. Leftover women. China. Shengnu is a Chinese term to describe educated professional women in their late 20s or older who remain unmarried. Popularized by the government and state media, the label is intended to pressure women into early marriage and a severe national gender imbalance, to address a national gender imbalance and declining birth. So there's a lot more women than men. And so there's only so many men to go around. So the women get ultra competitive against each other. Yeah. What up, Emmanuel? I fail second. How are you, my brother? I took IT. My education in IT took 3 years, and I'm not certified to do types of IT work. I only touch the surface of IT. It happens to the best of us too. Yeah. So imagine, imagine there being 6 guys in a town and 90 women, and that's the kind of thing it goes to. Let's see if I can find female to male. There's 35 million more men, than women, but that's not single. The total population imbalance, there's 717 million males. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Why is the leftover woman thing? Was this 2023? One chair part, leftover women. The gender gap causes a severe bare branches crisis, a term used in China for men who will never marry due to the lack of available women. Urban Verba, in this countryside, there's a severe deficiency of women. That doesn't sound right. Aww. It's all blocked out. Yeah, it's been over an hour, brother. What's up, Mr. Georgie? It looks like it, but the leftover women thing. So the thing is the amount of men that are available. I watched a video on a deep dive probably about 2 years ago, and it said there's like in each town it's like 70-1 available women to available men. Let's see. I guess it's preferred men for younger women. Yeah. I would suspect that has something to do with it. Let's see. No, it's not it. Here it is. Women can't have babies over a certain age. Right, that's correct. That's correct.
Single and
it's called a fertility window. It's a warning to women that pass 30, they don't get chosen. Right.
The so-called leftover women.
It says over 1 million single women, 10 women fight for one man. Full of farts.
I'm very aware of my situation. I know I'm getting older and could end up being a late mother. So I lowered my standards for a partner drastically. No car, no house, no
wait till Drake finds out
the bride price myself, and yet, even offering that, no one showed any interest. It makes me wonder: will I ever get married? Will I ever?
So what's going on now is China made those filters illegal. You can't use those filters anymore. And they think that's why, because so many men had such high expectations when a woman was coming over or they were going on a date and they looked nothing like it. So the theory is, let's just pull it up so you don't have to hear it out of my mouth. China has implemented sweeping restrictions on the use of beauty filters across live streaming, influencer, and video apps. The government is enforcing these bans to curb deceptive practices, fight misinformation, and stop influencers from artificially altering their faces beyond recognition to mislead viewers. So they've got a bunch of people that were women that were misrepresenting themselves, and then guys didn't want to marry them, and then so that it caused a huge drop off in birth rate. So they don't want China to go below replacement. Yeah, they've changed that now though. They've changed. That was true. Yeah, it was called the one child policy. Yeah, that's changed now. Most couple aborted female babies. Oh, yep. That was just crazy. Let's go China. Right, but they also allow mercury skin cream, right? Right, and COVID.
55 batches of whitening creams that had excessive mercury levels. I mean, one of them exceeded the limit by 6,399 times. Oh, oops. We added a little bit too much. It's fine. Just market it as a traditional Chinese medicine formula.
Right.
Now, this brand was already on a high
Can't
mercury
think-
blacklist, but
I can't think of one Chinese woman who tried catfishing. It's always Korea or Japan. Yeah, maybe. What? Yeah.
they just kept getting away with it.
What
because
laboratory?
they just kept rebranding.
Yeah,
some
she's
were
beautiful.
unregistered, some were deregistered. So, I mean, they weren't even approved to begin with. And most of these products are not approved at all. Now, this aesthetic isn't going anywhere. I mean, if anything, it's here to stay forever.
Right.
I mean, just take a look at the entire Chinese influencer face aesthetic that's, being shoved into your face every day. So if you think about it, after dabbling in these whitening injections and these poisonous creams, filters are not too bad after all. Now that I think about it, I can slowly start to see what look they were going for.
So imagine now the filters are becoming illegal. People are actually going to start doing more of this stuff to try to look more like the filters that they were using. Yeah, it's definitely rough. It's definitely bad for these chicks. Absolutely, and the people that were all involved with that. Where did I go here? Oops, I think I broke it. Oh, I think I broke something there. Oops, I broke it again too. Okay, let's see. Chinese women ain't natural anymore. They're AI. A lot of them are, right? Yogurt is safer and cheaper. We should start selling it. We should start an industry, start a company making yogurt cream, and we'll sell it. And we'll sell it to the Chinese influencer market. I mean, there's millions of them. If we sell it for $2 a piece, 2 million people, that's $4 million. We make it for a couple 75 cents. Well, we can make it happen. We can make it happen.
Settle down. Where is my place in the end?
40岁大龄单身
I'm 40, single, and this will be my last time struggling for love. From now on, no matter who it is, as long as they have good character and we can build a life together,
40.
I'm willing to give it a try. I'm no longer chasing romance.
All the
I
AI
just
filter
want
videos
the
have got his
stability
long
and
arms.
warmth
Yeah,
of
we watched
everyday
that
life.
earlier.
These two women, both born in the 1990s, have lowered their standards, giving
Lowered
up
their
demands for a
standards.
car,
American women
a
have
house
more
for
chins
blind price.
than a
Even
Chinese
willing to
phone book.
pay the bride
My mom had a
price
Chinese
themselves,
friend, but they
yet
don't have white
they
folks
still
skin.
attract little interest. In the comment section, netizens pointed out, she's compromising, but has she ever thought about whether the men are willing to
Right.
compromise?
No one ever
Others
thinks about what the
comment
men are
were
doing.
more harsh, saying better to wait until menopause. That saves money and you don't have to worry about children. Behind these harsh comments lies a brutal reality of China's marriage market. When older single women eventually lower their expectations, the average men they once overlooked are already married, while the high-quality men they hope for remain focused on younger women. In the workplace, 35 is often seen as a cutoff for career optimization. In the dating market, 35 becomes a cliff for women. Xiao Ya, working in Shenzhen, shared her personal experience of this terrifying threshold, showing just how stark the age 35 divide can be.
我是34岁未婚未育大龄剩女
Once you pass 35, it becomes really tough. Just like me, I was born in 1992, so I'm about to turn 36, and I'm still single and unmarried. At this stage, you realize that getting married is extremely difficult. First, you have to meet someone suitable.
That's
Second,
right.
that person has to actually want to get married.
That's correct.
And most importantly, they have to be willing to take the plunge. So both men and women need to understand one reality. If you're over 35 and still unmarried, chances are it will be very difficult to get married for the rest of your life. Shenzhen, a city
Better
once
get to it.
synonymous with the opportunity and wealth, has long drawn countless young people chasing their dreams. Some call it a city built for making money, but today more and more people are realizing that
Making
Shenzhen
love.
has quietly become a city of leftover women.
Oh!
深圳的剩女数量已经突破80万
In Shenzhen, the number of leftover women has surpassed 1 million, with around 500,000 of them being high quality.
High quality women. I wonder if Chinese men love thick women. Age thing is a last resort for them. That's a good question. I don't know.
35 single women. They tend to share some common traits. Most come from out of town, earn enough to support themselves, but still struggle with buying a home. Have met plenty of eligible men, but haven't found a match. The reality, however, is tough. The successful men they're interested in rarely.
What is
consider
high quality women or
35,
men?
and even
Well,
for men
that's the problem. That's what they're saying. She's saying high quality women were women that were able to afford a home. So they're not. So you have companies that are selling homes that want a woman to buy a home and a man to buy a home. If people got married younger, then they would live with their parents until they met and dated, and when they're ready to get married, they would buy a home together. But then they would sell half as many homes, and they don't want to do that. Single women spend more money than anybody else. When married women have a family, they want to save the money for their family. But single women spend most of their income. They have the smallest savings, especially after 40. Any money that women have saved, staying at, trying to wait later on for baby making, they end up spending, at least in America, a lot of their savings, if not all plus more, on fertility treatments. And this is well known. Everybody knows it. The influencers will say something different because they want your money. And they know how biology works, regardless how they lie. Yep, high quality with mercury poisoning. If her dad's not a millionaire, yep.
Healthy families, parental approval can be a major barrier. It raises the question, are these women
Because think about the argument. Think about the conversation. You meet a girl that owns a home and you own a home, and you're saying, let's get married. We'll live in my house. And she'll say, whoa, why don't we live in my house? And then who's going to sell the house? Then if she sells the home, does the money go to the family, or does she keep it in her own separate account? Why? And then why? So then you're going to say, well, then you don't really care. But this might be my starter marriage, and stuff like that starts happening. And it's a big problem. You shouldn't have a lot of investments like that. I wonder what happens if they get divorced. Laws are different from country to country. I wonder if the woman gets half. So that's different state to state, too, in America.
To grow old alone.
Let's see. Average divorce law, China. Average, not orange. Okay, Chinese divorce law, mandatory 30-day cooling off period for mutual divorces to end an automatic 50-50 splits in favor of documented financial contributions, and a high bar consisted for litigation. If both spouses agree to divorce, including the division of property and custody, they file boom, boom, boom. Mandatory cooling off. After filing, couples undergo a mandatory 30-day cooling off period. If either party withdraws, the application is canceled. After 30 days, both parties must return to the office to collect their divorce certificate. Litigation divorce. If one party refuses to divorce or the couple cannot agree on assets or child custody, they must go through the court system. Judges generally mandate mediation attempts first. To grant a divorce, the couple must go to the marriage is completely broke down. Refilling limits. If a court denies a divorce, petitioners must wait at least 6 months before filing again. China has shifted away from 50-50 split of marital property. Financial contributions. Assets are typically awarded based on documented financial contributions and who holds legal title. Both parties are obligated to declare all joint property. Concealing or transferring of assets can result in heavily reduced share to no share at all. All right, so now it's whoever made the most money keeps the most money, and that's probably how America's going to end up too, because there's a lot of wackadoo stuff that happened here. But what do you do about the kids? So I mean, you get into a big fight, you break up. Does the guy keep all the money and the girl keeps the kids, and then the guy pays child support? But then what happens after the children are adults, and that's where stuff gets sticky. This is why you've got to, in America, this is what's in your prenuptial agreement. You've got a prenup, whether you've written one or not. So if you guys are going to get married, or women are going to get married, and you should write your own. If you go to your girlfriend, fiance, and say, we need to make a prenup, and she flips out, you have to let her know that there's already a prenup. And at least you can decide what happens then, so that the divorce can be easy if it happens. And you can make it something like that. Like if you cheat, if he cheats, if she cheats, whatever, all that can be set up first. But that's not love. Well, the problem is you're doing it off of emotions and you're not setting up properly. And look, a big reason why the country's where it is now is because a lot of people were just making decisions off of emotions rather than thinking about the future. You got to think about the future. Especially if, what if death happens or anything else happens? You got to plan for it. The courts are hoping that you won't plan for it. They'll get a big hunk of your money, and then they can waste it on some wackadoo thing. If the woman freaks out over the prenup, she's not the one. I agree, because if they are freaking out over the prenup, that means that they already planned on not getting a prenup, which means the prenuptial agreement not being there was already in her head. If you're like, oh, look, we've already got a prenup from the state that the state assigns to us, but I want to write our own. Okay, let's do it. Whatever I got to sign, I just want to be with you. That's what you want to find. And I'm guessing this is probably why it's so hard for people to get married now in China, because they don't do the 50-50 thing. I bet you when the 50-50 thing was in effect, so many more women were rushing to get married earlier, knowing that they could benefit from the divorce more. And that's got to be taken out of marriage, that kind of crap.
Over 35 in Shenzhen. To put that in perspective, the city's total resident population is about 18 million, of which around 8.07 million are women, leaving men outnumbering women by 1.83 million. Of those 8.07 million women, those of marriageable age, roughly 25 to 45, number at most 3 to 4 million. And out of them, a staggering 1 million are older single women. That means 1 in every 3 women of marriageable age in Shenzhen is single. At some high-end matchmaking events, the imbalance is even more extreme.
I agree.
Reports speak of 9 women competing for 1 man. So where have the extra 1.83 million men gone? The truth is harsh. These men and the so-called leftover women simply live in different worlds. Most of Shenzhen's surplus men work on the city's assembly lines as delivery drivers, couriers, or in low-level office.
I wonder what the domestic abuse situations when women file divorce in China. Probably something like America, but the problem is reported domestic abuse. Most domestic abuse cases that happen, especially if you look in same-sex marriages, which I do not think China allows, it's typically back and forth, but one person gets pissed off. It's very rare that you find one where everything was going great and then the guy just beats the hell out of the woman. It's usually an abusive relationship from the beginning, going both ways, and then the guys are stronger than women typically. So then when things finally come to hands, she's like, oh well, I can't win this, so I'm going to take everything. And that happens a lot, and thank goodness that that's starting to come out more. And that's what's pushing a lot of guys away from marriage in America. They know that if you're being abused and she says that you were the one doing the abusing, evidence doesn't even matter, or isn't even required.
Jobs earning only a few thousand yuan a month. In the marriage market, where family background and social status are highly valued, these men can't even get a foot in the door. By contrast, the older single women tend to be highly educated, independent, and earning upwards of 10,000 yuan a month. They are professional elites working in offices and calling the shots, naturally setting their sights on the tiny fraction of men in Shenzhen who earn millions, owns a car and a home. Here's what a matchmaker had to say.
深圳为什么会成为剩女之都呢？
Why has Shenzhen become the city of leftover women? Because most women attending matchmaking events, about 90% of them are over 30. Take, for example, a 39-year-old woman who is a partner at a brand consulting firm and holds a master's degree. She owns a car and a home with an annual income of around 400,000 yuan. When she was younger, she graduated from a top university, had a good job and a solid income, so her standards for men were high. She hoped her partner would have a 985 level master's degree, own a car and a home in Shenzhen, and earn around 800,000 yuan per year.
You can't do that. You can't turn people into products. You can't say, I want a 1995 Ferrari that's red and has this kind of interior as a husband or for a wife. It doesn't work that way. It absolutely does not work that way. The thing is, people want to use marriage as a retirement rather than the beginning of building something. And that's the number one problem with marriage, is that it's completely changed to, I want to live my life, party and travel, then get married. Well, what are you going to do after you get married? I could be a stay-at-home wife. And that's just not, nobody's falling for that shit anymore. And it's really, really, really horrible. And you see, like even people argue about government and taxes and this and that. If you want to build something, the best thing you can do is to get married. Most men will do anything for their wife and kids if they're treated well. And then they'll build huge things and they'll compete. And that's one of the biggest reasons single people have problems building. A lot. They don't have people to take care of other things around.
Most men meeting these criteria were already married. The few remaining high-quality men in the dating pool didn't really care about a woman's job, income, or education.
Right.
They were seeking younger, attractive women who could provide emotional value.
Yeah, they're basically saying, when I'm done working, when I've got my money built up, I want to have 1 million yen, and I want to meet a guy that makes at least 1 million yen and 800,000 yen a year, so that I don't have to work anymore. It's a retirement plan rather than a relationship.
Even considered men who only owned property in their hometowns. Yet suitable men were still scarce. She now deeply regrets missing her prime years for love and marriage. No matter how successful she is today, the options left are what others have passed over. Women's approach to choosing a partner often follows an upward compatible logic. They aim to match or exceed a man's status. But for top-tier men earning around 800,000 yuan a year, a woman's income, car, or property doesn't really matter because, in the end, she's still expected to rely on his money.
Right.
What they value most is youth, beauty, and emotional appeal. This severe mismatch in partner expectations has caused many of these high-quality leftover women to miss their prime dating years. Yet even today, many women enter the matchmaking scene without facing reality, bringing shockingly high and unrealistic demands.
来，外地的女生啊。
A young woman.
Yeah, brother, I don't think I think that when you want to keep your population around, you tell them that you're in the best country ever. You tell them that this is better than anywhere else. You can't live anywhere else and have it as good as we have it. And they say that because they don't want their population, their tax base leaving. I mean, why they would say it's in 2050, I mean, I think it's just because they're repeating what somebody else said, just as you did. But how are they in 2050? We design everything in America and it gets built in other countries. They do spend a lot more money on technology, absolutely. But yeah, they're going along a bad path, just like America is.
From
you got to understand, like, they're willing to. Why don't the police go and arrest everybody that's applying that mercury cream to everybody, or that illegal like that? They've got plenty of police and stuff. They know, but people have stock in medical facilities and medical industries. And the more these people screw up and get sick, the more money the medical industries will make, and then the stock will go up. They want sick people and stuff like that. And you can't treat your population. We do the same thing here in America. You can't treat your population like that and expect them to be patriotic.
Came to us looking for a partner. She is 25 and wants to marry a local Shenzhen man or a so-called second-generation Shenzhen guy as soon as possible. She pulled out her phone and read her requirements out loud. Number 1, the man must be a true local and an only child. Number 2, he must own at least 2 homes, one in her name and another for her parents to live in during retirement. Number 3, the bride price should be 188,000 yuan entirely for her parents with no dowry on her part. Number 4, he must hand over his salary card, help pay off her brother's mortgage, and after her brother graduates from college, provide 200,000 yuan in startup funds for him. She confidently added, I'm young, I've never been in a relationship, I'm still a blank slate, my body is healthy, so in the future I can have several children.
Man.
These 4 demands left the matchmaker completely.
Chinese men love young, dumb women who are beautiful and easily manipulated. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about people. A lot of them have already been manipulated by something else. Think about how wackadoo people's thoughts are just from how they were manipulated in high school and elementary school and college. So when you meet them, they understand that they don't have the experience yet of the world. And that's a big problem. So, and the thing is, a lot of that word manipulation, bad people manipulate people into bad things. But if somebody is doing something like saying, oh, I want to wait till I'm 40 to have children, is it bad to convince them otherwise? If not, if you want to have children with a family, and eventually they will too, but they've been told that they won't. So they've been manipulated previously. So straightening out that manipulation is called manipulation by a lot of that women's friends, saying, oh my God, you shouldn't have kids now, blah, blah, blah. So they're being manipulated by an outside source. And then those other women are saying that your husband's manipulating you. Now, absolutely, there are people that will manipulate young girls just to get sex out of them, but you don't even need to do that anymore. It's part of the culture now. So it's like they'll just say, I was manipulated. I stayed with a roster for 10 years, dating 90 guys a day. But they weren't manipulated by the man. They were manipulated by the system. I don't think it's isolated to the Chinese. Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I think most of the so-called alpha male mentality likes dumb young females. Yeah, and listen, a lot of alpha women act that way too. They'll play the dumb role to get a prenup-free marriage. And yeah, listen, people act out. People act like other things to get what they want. That's manipulating, and that's manipulating yourself and other people, because you can't keep up that mirage. Having children in this world must exist irresponsible. I disagree. I think the problem is Super Obama. I think the problem is we don't have enough people with children. When men have wives and children, they will fight to secure the world and the future for those families. Now that we don't have that, we're letting it go to shit. It's the only thing that's going to change it. Like right now, the government wants you to fight for its power instead of you fighting. They're saying, oh, you're part of this community, so just forget everything. And like, did you see what they're doing now? Telling people to like not go to college to make sure that they stay in power. Like they're telling kids to give up their sponsorships and their what is it called? People pay your way to college. Not subscription. I can't think of the term. But yeah, they sponsorships and whatever the other term is, just so they can have power. If the people that fight for the country are the people with kids to fight for their families, and we've created a country and a world because we don't have kids, we don't have a reason to fight. So we pick up something stupid like women and men's sports. I dated an Asian girl called Young. No way, freaking ND. BS. This all makes it. This makes the bad side of me tell me. This makes the bad side of me tell myself maybe I'll go to Thailand. Scholarships. Yeah, scholarships. Yeah. Grants and scholarships. Anything that they've been given. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm not talking about that. Why the human life into a world that's going to turn into a fury road. It's inevitable. I mean, there's a reason we can have kids, you know. I mean, and listen, imagine the people that aren't perpetually online, the people that don't watch politics. They're just out living their life, and they have their wife and kids and their husbands and kids, and they're having a great life. We don't see how shitty it is. The news doesn't show, hey, there's something kick-ass going on in freaking Peachtree City, Georgia. Nobody got killed and people are getting married and having picnics and going swimming. They don't put that on the news, right? So to us, from that point of view, we see that everything is shit, but that's just not true. I think you have a point, but most people will fight for their children. Unfortunately, in the age of multimedia consumption, there are also some parents who would prefer just to ignore their children. I agree. So I absolutely agree. Two things can be true at the same time. Absolutely, there can be bad parents, and absolutely, there can be people that will make changes and actually do the fighting to make the changes that are required. I mean, because you can't just let the bus drive off a cliff. And the thing is, you're much more likely to run up and tackle the driver to drive straight if you have your kid in the bus with you, if the bus driver is going to drive it off a cliff. Right? The people not being in an audience to the propaganda bullshit living. Right. They don't know what's going on with freaking blah, 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 blah. They got no idea. They're growing their food and freaking having a good time, enjoying life. All right. Hey, happy friendship anniversary. 1 year. Bam. Did you see that, Space Cow? Kyle Busch, M&M's, Kyle Busch, M&M's, Kyle Busch, M&M's, Kyle... Jam. Is that yours? Look, did you see that? Happy friendship anniversary? I don't have any money to send you a gift. What can I send you? Oh, I ain't got no money. Oh, send GIF. There we go. Bam. There are some noted cases of parents ignoring their children while surfing the web and locking them into rooms and they die. But you're right, the most moral people will fight for their children. Thank you, Twin. No, I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Absolutely. But right. And if you listen to the news on a daily basis and the internet, that's what we hear. We don't hear the other 10 million new births and people celebrating it and people making life-changing differences, but yes, there's absolutely some shitheads. Evil exists, absolutely. And I think I know who you're talking about in particular, that one Twitch streamer woman, like the baby was dead for 3 days. Also, to mention that life is revolving around technology now. Everyone's online talking about making money and getting attention for the wrong reasons. Only get worse. Yeah, and I think there's going to be a reckoning. I think there's going to be a lot of people that get away from it completely. There's schools now that are banning iPads and phones and stuff like that. And like, I think humans will prevail. And we just got to understand how bad it gets. When all of the propaganda machine gets exposed, which it's slowly being done, people will realize that they've been fooled into these emotional meltdowns. I'm thinking about changing my religion. I'm Muslim. I'm thinking about changing Christianity or Jewish. I'm reading the Bible or Jews. All right, well, Shadow, I'm a Christian. If you got any questions, just ask, brother. All I'm saying is Nestle, yeah, Nestle definitely owns a lot of water. Nestle definitely owns a lot of water. All right, let's see. I think I broke something. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let me see if I can find this real quick. Boom, boom. Okay. To boycott. All right, let's show you this, guys, real quick. All right, I gotta find something quick about this. Ow. See if I can find something short. It's 20 minutes. Let me see if I can find something shorter here. I don't know what that guy does. All right, here, we'll watch this.
What in the world would make the Democrat Party via the NAACP think that young black men would forego going to the SEC, competing at the highest level, fraternizing with white women, and getting the bag for the Democratic Party? This is another example of how out of touch this party is with men. What?
Okay, so well, that didn't really explain it. Yeah, definitely don't adopt the violent extremist ideology. Absolutely do not do that. That's hard to say next when the next generation is going to be raised nothing but technology. People get easily manipulated online. Yeah, I agree also. If I may ask, why do you want to change? It might be personal, Indy, but we'll see what you got to say. Have you watched the Roman circus video? I have not. Roman circus video? YouTube stuff and YouTube shorts and YouTube stuff. This one here.
I don't care how long he works, and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just
I have seen this.
One player on one team, $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions.
What happened to Raj?
Chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is. It is the Roman circus.
Yeah, absolutely. So a big thing that I've always said and thought is that you've got to understand where your place is in your own life. You've got to understand that yelling at people that love you because of something you read online, something political, is absolutely asinine, because a lot of the politicians today are influencers. They want to set up a long-term income stream while they're in office, and you don't know what the truth is. We don't know what's going on. If they put it on the news, they want us to hear it. It's not our rights it with transparency to see what's actually going on, or else there wouldn't be multiple news agencies. There would be just one. The reason there's multiple news agencies and they don't say the same things about the same topics is because it's a show about sex and violence. Ultimately, all this comes down to is you've got very high-powered men that run countries, and they all want the power of that they can get and expand for their legacies. And if they're willing to put us in front of armed men from another country's army, they don't care if we die that way or another way. They don't care if they'll tell you to throw your life away so that they stay in power, and they want, it's gang mentality. It's the best for the gang. You know, it's like, no, it's not the best because they're not benefiting you or your family. This is why it's so important for people to not get burned out on politics. So when it's time to vote, you can spend the time finding out who is who without all the noise. So many people are so blown out on politics that they're like, I ain't voting no more. Okay, well, great. Well, then if something happens, your vote is something that you can do. Bitching ain't something that's going to help because it's going to turn people off of it altogether. You want a loop? We all dislike the one political family member, but not as bad as Pokemon scalpers. You want a loop? Uh-oh. Okay, no, we're good. Yeah, right. And we are now finding out that a lot of the faceless internet commenters have been bots. Now that there's not free money from the NGOs funding bots, you're seeing there's not a lot of people. Like it used to be a year ago when I started streaming regularly, every stream, 5 or 6 times a stream, even when I only had 3 or 4 people in here, that bots would come in and be like, would be pro this or pro that and asking for me to, what's your freaking political affiliation? Don't be a fence sitter. And they didn't know me. They're just coming through and they wouldn't answer any questions. And then I was talking to a couple of streamers that were saying that's all dropped off, and that's because, oh, you know what else they said? They said it's also the reason rap dropped off is because they were taking a lot of that money from the NGOs and funding their own. Gang members that had rappers in the same gangs would get millions of dollars from the NGOs and then buy streams. And this is why a lot of rappers can't sell out they can't sell seats, because it was all just bought streams and bought views. It's crazy. I grew up around gangs. The worst psychopathic gang member is a nicer person than the people you're talking about. Crazy though, isn't it? The people you're talking about are like Charles Manson with the 4 times the IQ. Yeah, and the thing is, like, when you find out the stuff that's been going on with, like, the Southern Poverty Law Center and things like that, where they were paying the KKK so that the KKK could afford to do things, and then when they did something, they would get the footage from that, put it on social media, be like, we need to stop this, and we need your money to help. And then they would get a whole bunch of money, and then they would line their pockets with it. And then when they got caught, they were saying, well, we had people undercover that we needed to protect. You're a nonprofit. You're a non-governmental agency. You don't have the authority to do that. You can't run a undercover police operation as just a freaking company. And it's just like these people went nuts, but they've been doing it for 40 years. Right. It's just like the firemen that got bored, so they would light a fire so that they would have something to do and to make sure that they could get more money for better equipments and bonuses and whatnot. That used to happen all the time. And it's the same thing. It's a grift. This is why I try to tell people, most people do not know what they're talking about. They're just repeating a couple things about each topic that they know about. They do not actually know what's going on. They don't know. They've just been told for years that this person's bad, this person's good, this group is bad, this group is good. And then they heard it so many times they think it's true. But now that so many people have talked people through their concerns, they're like, in school they taught me this and that. Right. Well, and another thing is you have people in schools, high schools and colleges that tell people stuff, and because people hear it in school, not necessarily in class, they just heard it while they were in school from some other student, they take it as gospel, and that's really screwed up a lot of people's heads, and it starts getting people killed, and that's a big problem, because a lot of things only exist on the internet. A lot of issues only exist on the internet, because it can be used as proofs, as evidences. Have you started growing? I have not actually. I'm going to look for to find some within this next month. Absolutely, I definitely want to start doing it. I knew those tiki torture carries at Charlotte were Democrat psyop. Those guys are all in shape, dressed perfectly. Ain't no Trump supporters like that. Right. And I think this thing is what happened is it became obvious. And here's another huge thing. Like people, the slavery thing, there were some black people that owned black people. And now that a lot of that is coming out and people are learning that, they're understanding that the people that they think are black leaders are just other black people that want to own black people or own people, period. They just want people to do their work for them without any fee, without paying them anything or doing anything to them. And that all that stuff coming out is people are being like, oh, this is why you didn't want us to look into it. This is why you only teach slavery as far back as the Atlantic slave trade. You don't go back another 100 years when they teach it. And then they'll give you excuses like, well, we had to have a cutoff point somewhere. Yeah, but on something like that where you're trying to change everything, you're only like most people don't even know about slavery. They think America invented slavery. They think that Americans went over to Africa and just stole people off the ground, hunted people up, rounded them up. They didn't know that there are still slaves available for sale. Slavery is worse now, today, than it was back then. And all these narratives fell apart. And people are like, okay, well, you fooled me. You fooled my grandparents, you fooled my parents, yeah. And it's all falling apart. The world is a stage. Yep. It's so true. Once it's a slippery slope. Why? What's one thing you heard me say? Dum 666. You sound like a libtard. Dum 666, brother. You sound like a freaking Democrat, freaking bumper sticker. Right. So why would you say that? Yeah, that's like calling someone a retard, dude. That's rude. All right, let's see. Okay, let's go back here. Boom. What? All right. Can I find her? That's so crazy. Okay, all right. We good. You good, dum. What's up? What's up, dum? Okay, let's see. All right, let's see what she's gonna say.
In my mind, I don't see how it can't be. I mean,
Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshakable with the boy.
Yeah, you just put you. We'll go into that right after this. I'll show you because I want to look into it too. You just put it into a bucket of rainwater, and that's it. We'll go into that right after that.
Discuss all things social, cultural, political, and
that's how you buffoon.
A biblical
Thank you,
perspective.
Andy.
I'm your host, April Chapman. Welcome to today's show. We're going to be quick because I do not believe the acoustics and the environment is on my side.
Sounds good to me.
I wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about this little stunt that the NAACP has pulled. These Negroes got some nerve. Boy, I tell you, listen.
They got some
I don't know
nerve.
you guys have been up to date of what's going on. I'm probably actually late to the party, but the NAACP is demanding that black athletes avoid attending SEC schools down in the South over the Supreme Court decision and this redistricting.
This is an unprecedented moment featuring an unprecedented attack on black political representation, and therefore it requires an unprecedented response.
You must give up your
We
life.
are here standing in solidarity with the NAACP.
While you're still getting a paycheck.
And it's called
Ugh.
for athletes to boycott institutions within
Athletes.
the SEC.
Athletes. To boycott.
That belong-
So if you don't go to college and perform in sports in college, how do you go to the NFL? How do you go to the NBA?
States that have unleashed these Jim Crow-like racially oppressive tactics, which is unacceptable, unconscionable,
But not unconstitutional.
and we
Ugh.
believe that the silence of these institutions is complicity.
That's right.
And we will not stand for it. With respect to the SCORE Act, our position has been we're against on the
man. Let's just say.
Right. Yeah. That's the problem, William, is the people that owned slaves. These are them. They still want they're telling these people to throw their lives away so we can stay in power. They're basically telling these kids, give up your futures so we can stay in power. It's crazy. He missed it, Colonel Holtz. Everyone as a tax slave. Right.
Athletes decide to rescind their full rides and scholarships and hope of a financial future for themselves and their family.
All right, give all that up.
What the Supreme Court has done. Explain to me how them deciding not to attend these schools is going to somehow reverse a Supreme Court decision. You do realize
Right. So you don't go to a school. The school doesn't make any money. You don't make any money. You don't ever get to go anywhere or play any sports games or anything collegiately. So you don't do that. The school doesn't make any money. So the Supreme Court, because a business isn't making money, will reverse this. They will. That's what this guy thinks. This guy thinks that the Supreme Court will reverse this ruling because a company isn't making money.
Supreme Court is the highest court of the land.
They do not want these kids to be free. They do not want these kids to be a part of wealthy society or middle class society. They want them to throw it away for a chance at what? It's not. They're not going to reverse it. They're not boycotting the government. They're boycotting a company, a school, a set of schools.
I'm just trying to see.
Like, it would have made more sense if he would have said, don't watch any games, don't buy any sneakers, don't pay to go to any games, don't pay to watch any games on TV. But no, he's saying give up your education.
NAACP.
How much you tax pay off your paycheck in America? It's about 27%. About 27%.
The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Yet, you are asking colored people to forego a very limited or once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them to not only change the financial trajectory for themselves, but for their family.
37
possibly
million.
1 to 2 generations. You want them to stand in solidarity with you. Mind you, you guys are a bunch of melanated-minded Marxist Negroes that
Whoa.
advanced colored people in the past.
She said it, not
now,
me.
We can talk about what you have advanced. You've advanced LGBT rights.
Oh.
You've advanced illegal rights. You've championed everything that would make your name be considered the National Association for the Abortion
Ooh.
of Colored People. Advancement, not so much, but absolutely abortion, because y'all are the
Vicious.
reproductive rights
Vicious.
people. Explain to me why an athlete would say, you know what, I'm gonna avoid changing my family's future and participating in my own prosperity. I'm gonna do this for the cause. I'm gonna do this for the culture.
Exactly.
Explain to me. If we had 10 athletes who stood in solidarity with you and said, you know what, I'm not gonna go to an SEC school. Where do you want them to go? You want them to go to HBCU? Is that what you want? Because it's not like the NAACP has done anything to help advance or improve the conditions or the outcomes at all of these HBCUs. So you want them to take their talent.
Yeah, so it's all falling
and
apart.
Go to an HBCU
It's all
that
falling
has
apart.
Less money, inferior facilities, and less opportunities for them to get drafted into an NFL team. Where do you want them to go? Like, what is the alternative? What are they supposed to do with their lives now that they're standing in solidarity with you?
Give it all up. An entry-level BMW i5 starts around $67,000 in America, where the same model in Denmark costs the equivalent of $135,000 to $150,000. How much would it cost? If my career falls apart, I'm gonna make OnlyFans for fat women and gays. Do it. There you go, Mr. George. So, ND, it would probably cost about $4,000 to have it shipped from America to you. So if you bought it you could buy a used one for probably 40 grand. Do you have to pay additional taxes on the import? I mean, I'm sure you do, but what that number is what matters. Or else, you probably can't do it, because then I would just start a BMW dealership at your house and then buy BMWs for 70 grand here, send them there for 74 and sell them for $120,000, $15,000 cheaper. Yeah, so it's got to be something in there. No can do. I'll have to pay taxes on everything shipped to Denmark. Jeez, if black people stop voting Democrat, you just watch how fast Democrats would break out the hoods. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you're just screwed. Yeah, that would absolutely, yeah. And like, there's a very interesting thing that I heard. There was a very interesting thing that I heard. Space Cow. It said, well, maybe I shouldn't say it right now. But yeah, it's bad. It's bad that so many people for so long were lied to, fooled, emotionally manipulated, and then convinced that it was the other people. And think about all the things that could be different. Think about that. Like, you know, they done screwed everything up. They done screwed so many people over, screwed up so many people's lives, so many people's futures. And you know what? What looked bad was they have the promotion that they do for people, like for races. Why separate the races so that you cause racism against the other race? And then, I guess because it's financial windfall, because then what's going to happen? Eventually there's going to be an NAAWP for white people, and then there's going to be lots of anti-white racism, and then the NAAWP, and then you just keep swapping back and forth every 30 years, just as the pendulum swings of hate. And that's what it seems like they were trying to do. Siraj, we can try and look it up now. Richard, try looking up a brand new i5 cost in your state. All right. BMW i5. Okay, 6710. $67,100. $67,100. Here's 2025 for 47,000. Democrats have Black America zigging when they should be zagging. I agree. E-Drive 40M Sport. Almost $100,000. A 2027's $150,000. Gotta say this the most respectful way possible. That girl was chimping out, man. All right, this is because the first numbers are 6 and 7. They should put 60,000 to 7,100. So a 2026 M60 is $100,000. But like I said, if you go a little bit, let's go down a little bit. All electric. 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. 310 miles. Wow. No, this is battery powered. He said the E-Drive, which is electric. The M Sport, more aggressive aesthetic. M Sport aerodynamic bumpers, gloss black, alloy wheels, 20-inch. iDrive 8.5 operating system. I'm not talking about lunar panels. Moonshine. Okay, let's see. Okay. 73,005. Here's a i5 E-Drive for 47,900. $14,000 in Atlanta, right by my house, right here. $737 a month with 2,500 cash down. Wow, they really did just put an electric motor where the gas motor was. I mean, it looks brand new to me. Uh-oh, there's some smudges. Heated seats. The absolute cheapest I can find is $112,154. Have you seen the American versus European timing change thing with Joe Pesci? It's like 2 seconds long. Let's take a look. The Class Troll is back. 110th grade, officially attention. What up, stupid tomato? American versus European timing chain with Joe Pesci. Working on American V8s versus European V8s.
On American V8s versus European V8s.
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Working on American V8s versus European V8s.
Yeah, look at all that. Look at all that. Crazy ass freaking layout. And those chains stretch. So if that's freaking wackadoo stuff. Wackadoo stuff. Oops. Okay, let's see where we at. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. Pricing brand new Mercedes E350. E350. 2027. Yeah, way overcomplicated. 220 to 240. Oh, there's 2020. Oh, those are 2026s still. Oh, yeah, I guess it's still early in the year. 2027 is supposed to start around 63 grand for the E-Class. Yeah, those are slick looking cars too. Let's see. Yeah, brother. Yeah, you better get saving. But look at that freaking thing. Oops. 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 The E-Class. Pure electric E-Class. That's weird. It doesn't have a, this one right here doesn't have a emblem on the, it's got a metal emblem on the hood. The Rick Ross special. Yeah, brother. It is tough looking though. But I don't know. I think I just bought a 7.3 Power Stroke with ZF6. Wow, damn. $2,400. The seller couldn't afford the gas anymore, or the diesel. Do you recall the piezoelectric system in Japan? I think you showed it. You could not have implemented it on its tire itself. Right. So you could. You absolutely could, but the technology, adding it to the tire itself would lower the amount. So the tire would flatten on this when the panel hits the ground. So then it's harder to turn the wheel. So you have to use more power per revolution of the tire. For each revolution of the tire, you would use more power pressing those things than the power you would get back. So it wouldn't be worth it. It would be better to put a solar panel on the roof just during summer time. $11,280 in Denmark for the Mercedes. Wow, that's half price. I wonder if it's because they're not built in America. I just don't think the guy knew what he had. Brother, I don't think so either. $2,400? What year? Like a 99 or something? Old Mercedes and the most beautifully built in all classic cars. Yeah, I like them too. I like the old Mercedes too. My dispo just gave me a free rosin. My dispenser gave me free rosin. They accidentally gave me the wrong one. I sent in to return and they gave me the right one. Let me keep the other one. There you go. Yep, honesty pays off. A 2,000? That's good. Yeah. That's probably still worth more than that. Oops. Boom. Oh, man. Yeah, you definitely got a freaking good deal. One without a back, 208,000 miles. Yeah, but even ones, I mean, depending on the room, 7,000, 4,000, 16,000, 17,000, 26,000, 34,000, 32,000, 13,000. Yeah, it sounds like a Ford F-150. Oops. Ford F-150. Have you ever seen the video of a guy boxing a bear? But yes. We'll look it up right now. The Staler brothers at the post office. Uh-oh. I'm so jealous of American car culture. We can't customize shit without it being illegal. Yeah, that's crazy. Jetpack era. I think there's a lot of awesome innovation in jetpacks. All right, let's see. Man boxing bear by river. This one right here.
At the river mouth, the bears catch only the tastiest, most tender salmon.
This what you're talking about?
Which is exactly what we at John West want.
Yeah. Oh.
John West endured the worst to bring you the best.
Yeah, I heard this thing today too. It said if smoking is so bad for you, then why does it cure salmon? Dun, 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 dun. The Democrats are working overtime to take our car fund away and make it feel like your country. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, absolutely. They want to. And the thing is, because they've got buddies that will make money off of making sure every single car that's built for America has these extra parts put into it. So somebody's going to be selling the computer. Somebody's going to be creating the chips that go into the computer that's going to monitor the seat and the freaking eyeballs and whatnot. Yep. Green new scam, right? Yeah, and the thing it's so obvious too. This is why one of the big reasons I think Democrats are doing so badly right now. I think it's because they lied about. I mean, now it's obvious that they lied, or they're lying now. They lied so long about global warming and the need to get away from gas-powered, coal-powered, this, and that. Now they're saying we need to open more, and now all these data centers and stuff now, they've completely gone away. You don't hear anybody complaining about the environment anymore. And it's just because they can make so much money off of it. And the local politicians, if they can get a data center built in their area, they'll do whatever they need to do to change the EPA laws, the Environmental Protection Agency laws and rules to make sure that they can get the power they need for the data center. So they've just flipped on it just in like 2 years. And people are like, wait, what about... Like I broke up with the guy that I was gonna marry because he wouldn't get an electric car because you said that we needed to do this or our children would die, so all that stuff just got flipped. If it's unhealthy to eat at night, why does my refrigerator have a built-in lamp? Now you're thinking, ND. Worthless DEF system in trucks, right, and then so. There's a big thing. You know what happens when you put DEF in the diesel tank? It crystallizes the whole tank. So you have to have the whole thing ripped out, the injectors replaced, and the fuel pump system replaced. And they know all this. They know all this stuff. They know it's going to create more taxes. People are going to have to spend more money. The more money people spend, the more sales tax they give the government, and then the more stuff that they can spend on stuff that they want to spend it on. They just don't care. Everything. It's got so easy to turn government money into their own money. That DEF system probably taxed on $15,000 the price of a new truck. Yeah, right. So 15,000. Did I say 15%? 15,000, right? Which is around 15% on a lot of trucks. Yeah, absolutely wackadoodle. But the whole thing about global warming and climate change, it's just everybody's shut up about it. And I think that also has something to do with the whole, with the NGOs being shut down. Now there's not money able to be given to people to protest and whatnot. And then just think about and now people are telling jokes about George Floyd and stuff. Like it's just like, and so it's like, okay, yeah, it's funny. I won't buy a diesel that's not pre-emission. Yeah, my years ago, my sister was dating this guy who that's what he did was he took Mercedes and he would convert them to fryer grease, fry oil. And then I remember driving behind him, following him up, and it smelled like French fries the whole time behind him. Yeah, and he this was Maryland, so it got cold, and he actually ended up moving to Pennsylvania. Anyway, so he had this thing where you would plug the car in overnight, and if the car got below a certain temperature, it would keep the fuel tank warm enough to not turn the fryer grease into gel. Space count. Oh, this freaking guy. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Today
Hey.
we're gonna eat some sand. So let's.
Sand? Ah. Dude. Tasty. Hey, wearing a red shirt. Look, we look alike. With the rings in the eyes and everything. Yeah, brother, your quarter ran out.
Tasty. Anyway, somebody Joe, probably think I can just grab everything I want to see next.
Freaking wackadoodle. Yep. Dude. That stuff's falling apart too. Poor bastards. Completely screwed over their own people. Completely screwed over. Some people, listen, evil exists. Some people will do whatever they have to do, whatever they can to hurt whoever they need to hurt to get what they want. And it's like, drives me crazy. Space Cow got something else. Wackadoodle. Okay. This freaking guy, dude.
Look how much that is. That's 20 bands. I'll give you 100 bands if you bring John Pork back. He'll be president. I'll be Secretary General, and you'll be ambassador like Jupiter or Uranus or some one of those planets. I didn't mean to say that. You're our only hope. He's out in space, okay? I got Guanteo Dingle doing the schematics on your craft, okay? He's doing it based upon Freak Bob's analysis. And I put in a cloaking device like you asked, okay? Just use it once. This is a map of the real galaxy, okay? We think John is on one of these 4 planets, okay? Are you looking? Are you listening? What is I mean, Jaharis is on, what's that 4th done? Look, I'm asking.
Freaking dude. Jeez. Man. Keep it going, I guess. But jeez. Drives me freaking nuts. Okay, where are we at? Daily. Giga Chad. Kung Fu Master Fraud. Asian Beauty Standards. When regret went viral. Soon fat. Chinese translations. Uh-oh. A lesson learned from us. New type of animal. A slug makes the impossible. That was the White House trying to talk to Biden at the end of close out of his term. Yup. Palm Spring Pete for president. Yeah, dude, Biden. Oh, dude, it drives me so freaking crazy. No way. Is that million? Ooh, jeez. I took Leafy to the vet. Uh-oh. 39 minutes ago, it says gas prices are dropping. Try not to laugh. Head bobbing, walking effect. And Godot. Murder hornets. Alright, we're gonna watch this. Do you recall your favorite form of media? It's the internet.
Farming giant hornets that are trying to kill you. What's scarier than that? Without these suits, you will 100% die. But to the modern people, giant hornets taste so good that they hunt and capture entire nests, then feed them into giant death balls that they can then harvest and eat. Does anyone ever die in the process of this? Whoa, that's crazy. So, I mean, this stuff can literally kill you. It's like something out of a dystopian sci-fi film. And it's the kind of otherworldly stuff that I'm sort of into. So today, we're joining a village of murder hornet farmers, trekking deep into the jungle to see the incredible way wild hornets' nests are located, looking into how they're captured and reared. Potentially he just grabs it with his hand in some kind of special way. And then harvesting a monster swarm that's so big it needs a team to lift and process. one of the most pricey delicacies you can find. So these mom guys, they spend this entire year for this moment. And finally, we're gonna find out about the taste. Can it really be worth the insane effort, the incredible danger, and the sky-high price tag? Can these hornets really taste that good?
Can they really taste that wood? Do you recall the cow that's floating through the Milky Way?
Is the least appetizing sound that you can possibly make.
Oof.
Screw it, guys. You only live once. Let's roll.
Jeez, man.
In the remote mountains
Vietnam.
of Siem Kai, Vietnam, lies a Hmong community that makes its living farming Asian giant hornets. These things are deadly, but they fetch a huge price tag. How much do they cost per kilo? Like, is it expensive?
Cái như này là được 500.000 Việt Nam.
That's a decent price per kilo. You know what I'm saying? It's up there with sirloin beef, that kind of stuff. Eager to see why, I've ordered one of these insane apocalypse-style suits necessary for the job. They're kind of a mashup with thick canvas construction, fan-forced ventilation to keep you from passing out, and rubber dishwasher gloves protecting your hands. Suiting up feels like preparing for a journey into another world, a world where Bill Gates and the WEF have finally taken complete control and have forced us into collectivist hornet farms. There's fans at the back of my neck, there's fans right here. I guess it's the only way you'd be able to breathe in this kind of thing. It really does feel like almost like a spacesuit. Pretty insane. Let's just hope these guys know what they're doing. I've heard that this nest is absolutely giant, and without this, it is certain death. I wasn't all that nervous. Now I'm kind of shitting myself. Welcome to our bug-eating future, where we must risk our lives for a few measly hornet bars and a couple of ESG credits. And they did that up tight. I can barely feel my hands. Cameraman Win getting toted up. My host today is Huang, the owner of these nests. He has 3 giant hornet nests at his farm, one of which is ready to be harvested tomorrow. But hornets don't just decide to build their nests at your farm. So first, we're going to find out exactly how he's done this. Wild nests need to be captured and then relocated. And the method of locating these wild nests is ingenious. You attach a chicken feather to the hornet and you follow it back home in order to kidnap the queen of the wild nest. No, seriously, that's actually how it's done. And so now, we're going to witness exactly how that goes down. We're going to trek into the jungle, we're going to catch a wasp, and we're going to follow it back to its nest. And so armed with some sugar water, some cotton swabs, and a stick, we venture into the dense Vietnamese jungle. The goal is to lure hornets to us, capture them, and attach tiny feathers to them in order to track their flight back to their wild nests. Trekking deep into the jungle, the terrain becoming more treacherous with every step. There's large holes, wet and slippery paths.
Murder hornet. This video might justify the Ohio dog eating incident.
It's obvious to me that the life of a hornet farmer is really not an easy one.
Yeah, I can imagine. Can you imagine that freaking crap? Ugh.
So there are a bunch of the wasps hanging off this large tree in front of us.
Jeez.
And Enquire is trying to place the cotton ball right next to him so that one of the wasps lands on the cotton ball. From there, I have no idea what we do. He doesn't have his suit on. We have to catch it somehow. I don't see any kind of contraption. Potentially, he just grabs it with his hand in some kind of special way. And we're in luck. We can get a little closer. Maybe not that far. 2 or 3 meters away from this tree that has a bunch of these hornets on it. And before long, we managed to capture one. Carefully attaching a feather to its abdomen.
Oh, they're gonna follow it. They're gonna flag it and follow it.
And incredibly, it works. It's surprisingly easy to follow this flying white feather. even through the dense green jungle.
And it flew off. And essentially, you do this to enough of these guys, and you can literally track their path back through the woods. They're able to still fly with a feather, and that's how you can see where they're going exactly.
That's freaking crazy.
And
Does
once
it
you
work?
locate where they're going, you get that nest, you dig it out, you relocate it to your nest.
But after a few minutes, our hornet does a U-turn, returning to the same tree to eat some sap, the feather eventually falling off.
Having failed in the jungle, we've returned down to the valley where there's a small village that has a little bit of a hornet problem. We're going to catch a couple of their hornets that are just hanging around this sort of apple farm, and we're going to see where they go back to. Hopefully it is a wild nest and they do not return to the sort of farm nests that
man.
these guys have in their village, just a couple of kilometers over.
Đinh mệt không?
Look at that. He's got a plastic bag wrapped around him.
Here, we managed to capture a few hornets using the same sugar water trick.
We're just giving them a drink of sugar water, I think. I hope that kind of like chills them out because I did not bring my beast food. And we let them go.
But when released, they fly all the way back to Huang's farm, confirming these aren't wild hornets at all, just part of his existing stock.
Jeez.
Sonny wouldn't be happy with this.
Sour gourd?
I'm starving. Cucumber snack.
Oh, cucumber.
Should we have captured a wild young nest, the queen and nest would have been relocated.
He got his own stock.
Young hornets, they explained to me, are not yet that aggressive and can be carefully nurtured. Food in the form of insects is provided to their nests and they're kept in home. In fact, they're practically hand-raised. Once the nest reaches a certain size, it's relocated outside with just a little bit of sugar water provided to help them along. And around a year after that, you have a problem.
They all hatch. Jeez.
You have a giant 80 to 100 kilo nest of
And no honey. No
living
honey.
in your backyard. And you
How do you know it's working? Well, it depends where you've got parasites, but if you've got like skin issues, especially if you're fine, if you've got nothing wrong with you and you just feel great every day and everything looks fine, then you're fine. But if you've got issues that you would go to the doctor for, like skin issues, rashes, stuff like that, if you're depressed or anxiety or thing, then you don't know what's causing that. If it's not like your dog died and whatever, if you're just depressed every day or anxious every day, there's something wrong. You're not at ease with yourself. You're at dis-ease. Then there's something going on. And the main two things that it can be that you can take care of yourself or try to take care of yourself is either you might have a parasite or you might have a vitamin deficiency. So the main two things you can do to keep the doctor away is do a parasite cleanse and to make sure that you're taking vitamins and minerals. So for me, I used to have big old patches of like eczema and stuff on my skin, big patches, flaky patches in my scalp and everything. After I did my first parasite cleanse, my 30 days, it was probably about 25 days into it. I woke up and they were gone. I mean, they started to shrink slowly and slowly. So, I mean, without actually testing my blood and stool and stuff and looking for the chemical traces of parasitic infection, you can infer from your symptoms. I should do food reviews? All right, let's do it. I'm all about it. When you stop craving McDonald's, yeah. I wonder if they eat them like cereal. We're going to find out. What are you going to do? My baby ma got issues? Yeah, brother, if your baby ma got issues, like I said, two things. And the main two things are to make sure you're getting vitamins and minerals and proper ones. Like, for instance, magnesium in multivitamins, they often put in their magnesium oxide, because it's so cheap. But you poop out what you take in. It doesn't absorb. You might only absorb like 5% of it. So you might think you're taking 400 milligrams of magnesium, but you're only taking 20. Or only 20 is actually getting in. The rest is going out down the toilet. But it's always, in my opinion, it's always worth it, because if you go to the hospital, they're going to check to see what's wrong. But they don't check vitamin and mineral deficiencies unless you're about to die. And they don't check for parasitic infection unless they see worms in your poop. But not all parasites are intestinal parasites. I don't get the murder hornet video. You don't get it? I think they're going to eat them. But we're going to find out. Give my baby mama fantastic fingers, man. Indecent parasite. These are huge, by the way. My baby mama kissed me, but she's glad. My baby mama kissed me, but she's glad I'm gone. She knew me and her sister had something going. I wonder if I died, would tears come from her eyes? Forgive me for my disrespect. Forgive me for my lies.
Next day, yesterday, we failed to catch a wild hornet nest for rearing. Luckily, they prepared one maybe about a year earlier, and it is now a giant 80-kilo mass. So behind me, we have an A-team of murder hornet collectors, harvesters. This sounds like the
Murder
scariest thing I've
hornet
ever done.
harvesters.
Let's see and participate in how it goes down. I think I'm just going to try and not get in the way and sort of narrate the process. Action? Kind of scared.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's action time. Without these suits, you will 100% die.
Jeez.
These are guys who do it professionally. That's why they can afford these suits. But everyone else looks the same.
Do you know that they discovered not too long ago that honeybee venom, honeybee stings can destroy cancerous cells? I thought he had 1 for 2. 2 for 1. I thought he had 2 for 1.
And no one is taking this stuff lightly. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's try not to die.
Jeez, dude.
First, traps are set at the nest entrance and the exits are sealed with wet rags. This funnels a huge amount of the hornets into the traps, and we repeat this multiple times.
That's
clearing out
freaking a
as
lot.
many of the
Why do
hornets as
humans have to
possible,
eat and
just to
taste
make the
everything? It's nuts,
situation
man.
a
Look at
little
the
bit
foods
more
God
workable.
gave you and you're still
I think
not
there
happy.
are way-
So like I was saying before, vitamins and minerals, they may not be getting everything. So they may have a standard affliction. And then when they eat lots, some people have noticed over decades that when they eat lots of these, they feel better. And that's why people eat like brain and what. I mean, I agree with you, brother, but animals do that, not just humans, right? You know, like, yeah, it's interesting, but they're getting something out of it. Maybe it's just taste. Maybe we'll find out. But yeah, it's interesting for sure.
Right now, being able to escape and get out of here. But the noise is incredible, and the nerves, it kind of gets to you. These things are trying to bite through anything they can. In some ways, it reminds me of shark diving, putting yourself in incredible danger just
Shark
for a little
diving.
bit of an adrenaline jump. So as things progress, we've now removed the top of the hornet's nest.
And they're on the side of a mountain.
More to it. Really, it just seems like a mud roof. And I guess maybe we're gonna have to dig down somehow. I thought that you would right away be able to see the honeycombs underneath this concrete roofing shelter, but that's not the case so far. But with some of the volume of hornets eliminated, the digging begins. We carefully remove the layer of clay-like dirt at the top of the nest and expose bamboo rafters and
Here we
tarps
go.
that are
Here we
saving
go.
the shelter from rain. What they've done is they've placed bamboo tubes along the top and it impacted the mud down to sort of make a mud home. And then they've relocated the hornet's nest below here, allowed them to grow. They
That's
fed them
crazy.
chicken
You plant
and
an
other such
apple
things.
tree.
And then the hornets also continue
You
to
plant an apple tree and eat the apple tree, not risk life and limb on the side of a mountain with the killer hornets that can send you to the grave. Never mind. Yeah. Listen. I'm right there with you, brother. Look, and they probably don't have winters. They're in the tropics, so they don't have winters like we have. So they'll probably get apples year round.
head into the jungle.
But where are they getting protein from? You know, I mean,
tree sap. Machetes in hand, the hunters then sever the hive from the walls and from some of the bamboo rafters. I think we're about to see the real nest now.
wow. That's freaking amazing. That's absolutely amazing. It's got to be freaking 100,000 bees in there, or that's absolutely amazing.
Pulsating beast.
So there it is, people. A giant 80, 90 kilo nest of hornets. It's taken 1 year, more than a year, to raise that thing. Those white larvae that you see dotting along the top of that honeycomb are worth their weight in gold up here. It is one of the most pricey delicacies. So these mom guys, they've spent this entire year for this moment.
The nest itself is far too large to carry in one piece, and it must be sectioned off.
I imagine we're going to have to portion it up in some way.
You know what? I wonder if they're going to eat the grubs rather than the hornets themselves. I bet you that's what it is. I mean, maybe they'll eat the flying insects. I bet you they're going to eat the grubs. I think that's what they're called. The babies, the offspring. Not newts.
How we're going to get that thing to the top of this hillside without doing so.
So hand saws appear out of nowhere, and I used to carefully detach each layer from one another. Each slice reveals more of the hive hidden underneath.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's taken a decent amount of time to truly process this entire giant slab of hornet larva.
And transporting these sections up the mountain in
They're
these
down bad, they're
oversized
gonna eat
suits
both of them
is
together.
a pretty grueling task.
The hornets are in peak frenzy mode. Like right now, they're attacking anything that moves. They're trying to attack my camera. It's pretty chaotic.
And as we get to the end, there's a small twist. At least it's not something I was expecting.
The reason that we were
They're putting them back.
the tubes and catching
They're putting them back. Why are you showcasing your
Look at
giant
them back.
nose in here? Because I love it.
80% of the
I
nest
love it.
is
I'm a kind
actually
of
harvested.
space cow. I'm kind of attached to it. Yeah.
Remaining 20% is flipped back over. We then rebuild the structure with bamboo supports and tarps.
And then they add the hornet tubes back so they can crawl back into the nest and rebuild them for next year.
So they're eating the
Another
babies.
cycle will continue.
This
And
is
the
what
nest
they
will
should
be
show in
harvested
schools.
again in the
110th
future.
grade for teacher. Yeah, I'm hoping to make enough videos that I can cut up enough videos out of like the live streams and whatnot to be able to teach people things and put things into topics and whatnot. That's ultimately one of the goals.
There it is. We're finishing up. We've collected what we need to collect.
Yeah, so they didn't collect them. They only
house.
put the bees in the tubes so that they didn't get attacked from the bees or the hornets. And then after they collected some of the babies, the eggs, then they put it back.
We can unzip. Oh no, we're getting rid of.
All right, Space Cow, what you got? We'll take a recess break right here. One. Okay, what's this say? We visited the RCR museum, racing museum in Charlotte, and left some M&Ms. Very somber. Oh, that's his memorial. Wow. After 270 wins, man, that sucks. Yeah. That's nice, though. That's nice. He's getting represented.
Have any lost hornets that are still on us? Apparently I still have some. And no one's taking any precautions, as you can see. They're still all suited up, even up here at the house. We're a good 100 meters or so away from the nest. But it's not time to chill just yet.
Once finished, we leave much of the hornet larva in the home.
Larva, that's what it is. Thank you, Dorjean.
200 meters away from
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, brother.
the house, which is too close to the nest to actually just get undressed safely. So even though it's raining here, I think we're going to get reset and then head on back.
And we trek to a nearby village for a celebration of sorts.
Yeah, larva.
We've arrived at a really traditional mom home, corn growing up in the rafters, and they've begun already to process the larva. Hello. Xin chào.
Some of the lava have already
Damn, they're
been poured
huge.
here, and there's
They're
a bit
huge.
of a communal effort beginning.
Official
in the
channel,
preparation.
official.
So essentially, what's happening here?
Stupid Tomatoes, official channel troll. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club, Door.
As we're breaking down these honeycombs, and you have just about every stage of lava here. Everything gets eaten, nothing gets wasted. Some of those guys are just crawling around the bucket. Others of them have just got color in them, and they're far more in that Android alien format. Either way, none of this exactly looks all that appetizing to me. I have eaten some of this stuff before. I've got to admit, I struggle to recall exactly what it's about. But again, imagine all the effort that's been put in. Imagine the year of farming, of feeding, of care that's put in. These guys aren't just eating it because they're desperate for food. They're doing it because it's a delicacy in these parts, and we're here to find out exactly what that delicacy is about, why people are after it, what it tastes like. Let's cook these bad boys up and see how they go down.
And the cooking process is pretty simple. All stages of the lava are gathered together and tossed into a steaming wok with a little water and some sliced lemon.
I thought it'd be oil.
There's also plenty of other dishes to go around. Pork, rice wine, and it's good health wishes all around.
When you have a giant comb like this, you can hear the lava gnawing their way out. I don't know what it is about that, but it just gets me. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Ah, yeah, dude. Yeah, George, brother.
That is the least appetizing sound
that
you could possibly make.
Just a bunch of herbs and spices and freaking murder hornet. Yeah.
Here's the deal. We have a beautiful spread in front of us, and I think this is kind of a traditional mom lunch to sort of wind down the day. There are 4 tables around us. They're just kind of like winding down, eating a bit of lunch, and while a lot of this food looks pretty good, there is, of course, the one intimidating...
Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. How are you, Shiraj?
Asian hornets.
Dorjin
I'm going to
Yan.
start in order of growth, what we've seen before, the smallest through to the largest. First, we have one of these guys. I think this is the original stage. It's kind of like the baby form. Huh. Man, it's got like a way more creamy texture this time. When I've had it before...
Good, brother. Good. Thank you.
Just like a gooey kind of feel.
Gooey.
Now that some of the water has been cooked out of it, it's actually a decent amount more edible, if you could say it like that. Not exactly what I would consider the most appetizing dish, but it's honestly, it's really not that horrible when it's cooked like this. So this
It's
is
not
sort of
that
like
horrible, he
fleshed
said.
out, full-formed lava. These are the really kind of most intimidating stage, I think. They have that really gnarly noise that they make when you kind of eat them. I'm imagining a little bit more of a gush. Let's see. Yeah, in a weird way, that's almost like more edible. They have far more of a meaty flavor than I would have imagined. I think it really is kind of like almost chickeny like flavor. It's relatively edible.
Chickeny like flavor. It tastes like chicken.
That is the most popular stage indeed. Like everyone seems to be after. Oh, 2 more to go. We're going to step it up. This is in its most alien-esque form when you're being built out in your Android or some sci-fi like tube. This is how you end up looking. I think it's probably the most visually intimidating. Let's give it a go.
Remember the earwig episode? Yes. Oh, gosh.
Already
Yeah.
a little bit harder to eat. It's got far more of a crunch to it. You can taste
Oh,
some of the
dude, earwigs.
eyes or the kind of hard shell that insects have starting to crunch away. Tough to eat, I'd say. I'd say that's much more difficult from a just flavor standpoint than the first 2 versions of this hornet.
Man.
All right, finally,
You can't convince
let's
me
go
a
for
bug
full-blown hornet. Basically,
You can't convince me a bug you slimed out tastes like chicken. But I don't think I mean I think he's talking about the seasoning. Or he's just manifesting it because he's so freaked out.
ready to fly giant Asian hornet. It has all its colors. It has its wings. It has a crunchy structure. I can feel it already in my chopsticks. It doesn't have that level of give. I actually think this is maybe the most intimidating that I've had. Let's go.
I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's got far more of a crunch. And the thing about the skin,
I don't think I don't think murder hornets have stingers. I think they use their mandibles. I think maybe we'll double check.
The hard shell of an insect is it really has that fingernail-like feeling to it. So it's not really a satisfying crunch.
No, it definitely has a stinger. I can see it right there.
Just enough give to it to make it a little bit off-putting. Even if it has that same
All
sort
right,
of...
we'll see this real quick. Let's see. Murder hornet stinger is a formidable biological weapon, a 1/4 inch long, 6 millimeters. It's roughly 4 times the length of a honeybee's. It can easily penetrate standard beekeeping suits. I don't know. I ain't never ate a freaking hornet space cow. Yeah, brother, I'm right there with you.
Chicken-like flavor from the insides is really hard to do, I've got to admit. Sorry, Bill Gates. Sorry, World Economic Forum. It's not really my kind of thing. Although I am happy that these guys are letting me share in this kind of experience with them. It is really unique. And I do really see why people are fine with eating this stuff. Given that they grew up with it, it's far better than what I've eaten in raw form in the jungles.
After sitting down with Huang, I learned a little bit more about his life and livelihood.
Huang, how long have you farmed hornets for like this?
Làm là 15 năm rồi.
Your name is Vomit Goodness.
How much do these larvae cost per kilo?
Ký như này là được 500.000 Việt Nam.
This
Half a
80
million?
kilo nest we helped harvest will fetch Huang around 40 million VND, or about 1,500 US dollars. A small fortune in these parts.
Who wants to buy these hornets from you, these hornet larvae?
Là chính là những người
Namaskar.
ra ở nước mình ra mua.
What about, do people from China buy this or not?
You eat a lot of bees, space cow,
Có là
yeah.
Trung Quốc ấy.
Space bees. A lot of space bees out there. The space cow, yeah.
To me, remarkable that hornets, once likely eaten out of necessity, have now found their place as a true delicacy.
Why is it so popular?
Cái này ăn rất là ngon.
It's
Rất là
very
ngon.
tasty and
What are
healthy,
some
he
of the health
says.
benefits?
Thêm nhiều
A lot of vitamins.
The
There you
Mont
go.
Bushmen have capitalized big time. They're providing a rare food at an astronomical price. They've developed these unique and ingenious ways of capturing and farming.
I wonder where the suits are made.
DIY protective suits to the feather.
Oh, you
tracking
said
method.
DIY.
It's one of the most unique and interesting farming methods that I've seen.
Huang, thank you for today, man. That was a really cool experience. Well, that is it for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. This was probably one of the most nerve-wracking
Yeah,
pilots
that's
I've ever
crazy.
been a part of. No matter what you do, nothing will prepare you for that kind of an experience.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
peace out now,
absolutely
have a
crazy.
little bit of lunch.
They
with these
taste
lovely
like
gentlemen
honey.
who
Yeah,
invited me on this
yeah.
journey. If you like this video, please let me
Yeah, that's freaking nuts. I do like honey. I do. I'm not a big fan of being chased by honeybees. Let's see. Oops, let's not do that. Oh, I broke it. All right, total idiots. Smooth skin. The feds got him. Uh-oh, looks like a sound biker got in trouble. Let's see. That's fine though. We'll deal with it. We got money. What? Purple mattresses. How TikTok hears you. Close to an agreement 18 hours ago. Let's see what we're gonna do. Oh, come on. Come on! Philippines poops. Ah, jeez. Sea lice. Deadliest mine disaster. Oh, wow. 52 minutes ago, 247 people died in Chinese mine collapse. Detours. Pure gold bars. Gotta look up your new morning alarm. It's a guy in a red robe. Alright. This guy, I also eat roasted cheese a whiz. Get it out of bed, man, go. You can do that 5 years ago. I'm surprised I didn't hear it. Yeah, I probably would have saw it on like TikTok or something. Alright. Your new morning alarm. X. Overloaded truck axles. Craziest wooden transport. Bubble maxing, boys. Oh, that's what we're going to check out. Not bubble maxing, but we'll see. Okay. Oregon speed front. Both on gear. Alright, we'll check out this guy.
When you go to his TikTok page, the first thing that you'll see is him crying, which gives you a pretty good indication of how this is going to go. And the caption he puts here says, "Sometimes I wonder if I'm taking the wrong path," which didn't last very long.
Disclaimer, this video is educational and informative in nature. Do not contact anyone sharing this video. Also, this video is discussing steroids.
Do not use steroids.
This is entirely for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Just like fitness brought us a storm of young kids blasting gear to achieve arguably like really bad social media fame, like fame specifically tied to them around being degenerate, looks maxing has brought us waves of insecure guys who are young and rightfully so insecure. I mean, I was wildly insecure when I was a kid, but hey, they now are trying to improve themselves to a dangerous degree, which, let me be clear, I'm not opposed to improving your appearance. I think you building a physique, you're changing of your aesthetics and trying to make yourself more attractive is a good thing, and generally when it's done in a considerate and healthy manner, it is not bad. I love that concept of looks maxing, if you want to call it that. I just think of it as like, hey, you're just self-improving, like read a couple fucking books and go outside and walk every now and then and eat better. I don't know.
Lord Dentes Fortuna you are!
But when you have guys hard maxing, which is defined as a semi-permanent change to your appearance, typically through medical procedures, surgeries, or highly invasive measures,
this woman needs a wheelchair.
Maxing, which would be considered changing her
I
lifestyle.
tried to send
diet.
a link. Hold on, I got you, stupid. I got you, stupid. Alright, go ahead and you can send the link now. There's also called Ecto Neighborhood Argument. Yeah, you can send it now.
Doing something like light procedures, Botox, things that are very momentary. But hard maxing, when you have a bunch of guys doing that, it's kind of where everything goes wrong. And most of the time, it's specifically where guys will go right away because it does provide quicker results. It does provide more visible results. When we're talking about taking steroids, doing surgeries, injecting other substances into your face, which will be part of today's video, which is why we're talking about Lucas Ego Lifts today. He is a guy, by all definitions,
Bam, there you go, brother, stupid.
Straight to the most extreme measure of anything that he does. May it be steroid use, bulking, looks maxing, you name it. When you go to his TikTok page, the first thing that you'll see is
bubble maxing. Alright, let's see. I can't play anything copyrighted, brother. Let me just double check. It says Cartoon Network. Yeah, it's copyrighted. I can't play anything copyrighted. Yeah, definitely Comedy Central. Yeah, I was just looking through this and said, "What up, Rodolfo? I just ate a boatload of M&M's, a tribute to Kyle Busch." Good there, brother. Do you remember that the tattoo people were wearing the tattoo? Yeah, no, jeez. Yeah. I can't do it, unfortunately. I'll save it. I'll leave it there so I can watch it after the stream. But, yeah. Okay, here we go.
him crying, which gives you a pretty good indication of how this is going to go. The beginning of the end. This is what the comment section looks like on that post that's over 5 years old now. These comments are, of course, not from then. They are new. And this is something that we're going to get into because Lucas really is an emotional individual and took that and let it run his life. But give me a moment to cook here because there's a lot of lore and about 3 or 4 arcs we got to roll through before we can get to the subject at hand. And if you're you're new here, consider subscribing. It does help
There
the
you go,
channel a ton.
subscribe.
And we do have this video today sponsored by RHRT Company. If you're looking for hormones or peptides from a actual medical professional with medical professional related guidance, not from some UGL from China, but compounded in America, pharmaceuticals, and blood work, we have a great option for you. If you look down below in
What
the
up, Tiny
description of
Lion?
this video, you can click a link, fill out an intake form, and we will reach out and get you on board with a medical professional that has been hand selected by myself. Okay, we want these people to do what they need to do and have the knowledge that they need to have to help you best. And the reason that I do this is because of these types of situations unfolding with people trying to do their own thing 24/7. So through this arc, Lucas continues to post videos of him crying in the dark like he is some sort of indie artist encouraging the most depressive state to rip out a fire album. And I mean, he really
Rip
hit
out a
this
fire.
angle hard.
How many
Eventually,
pets did you give
a year
Levin
later, he
today?
started
A
posting,
lot.
but this time
Probably
more
like
light
100.
vibes and sort of a positive trend. It was clear that he was aiming for
Probably
strength.
more.
His goal was to hit PRs and get stronger. And this is where Lucas went down a relatively dark path, the permabulk path. The goal of his strength building was taking over his life to such an extent that he decided he was going to eat everything in sight in order to put on more weight so that he could garner more strength. And he literally became obese within a matter of 6 months. The term permabulk originates from a prehistoric age of fitness, in other words, about 10 years ago. Fuck, I'm getting old. It means to bulk without any regard for body fat, with the goal being basically
That Kyle Busch situation is terrible. You would think the guy would have the best health care and isn't the type that would see slack on seeing a doctor. Brother, I thought about that a lot. And he was coughing up blood the night before, and he wasn't in a freaking hospital, you know, like that kind of stuff drives me crazy. It didn't say that he was tiny. I don't know. I don't know for sure. I guess we'll find out after the autopsy.
to get as strong as possible and virtually never cutting down until you've reached the goal, which is, to be honest, really undefined by most of the people going down this path. Oftentimes, this process involves eating whatever that person eats, as long as they can eat as much of it as possible. Literally eating anything and everything in sight, and realistically, it's just an excuse to eat like an asshole and get fat. Even though your goal is to build more muscle and to build more strength, you're almost doing it counterintuitively and going down a different path for yourself and becoming wildly unhealthy and de-optimizing your body so that it doesn't do either of those things very efficiently. And he indeed took this very, very seriously in some videos, posting about how one meal would contain 2,000 calories, more than many people's daily intake. The man was certainly not doing this in the most brilliant of ways. Really, at this point in the training arc, he was aiming for diabetes more than any real muscle mass. And to be clear, there is no benefit to doing this. Like, objectively,
yes, he did not look like he was on
gaining
drugs.
Fat mass extremely rapidly in order to become.
You tell me, Space
is
Cow.
arguably one of the worst.
You
things
tell
to
him.
do for your
Tell him
health.
chat.
No one is big enough to support this amount of calories, and especially in one setting. If you think this is genuinely how you need to go about things to build muscle, we have more problems, and you are very, very sadly mistaken. And simplifying the equation to building a physique and building strength to just eating calories is a really big drastic
Felix
issue
Rosenquist.
because it isn't that simple. And that same mindset is usually what leads people into steroid abuse because, again, they simplify the equation. Well, if I'm not getting big now, I just need to take steroids to get bigger. And you'll see this as a trend with Lucas as we keep going. This is genuinely the most unhealthy way of doing any of this. Sadly, before he started the permabulk training arc, he was actually aesthetic. He looked good. If he maintained that position and just trained hard.
I used to be one, and many of the functioning drug addicts are all around you. Yeah, I agree. A guy from Sweden won the Indy. Rosenquist. Felix Rosenquist.
You would have likely built a shit ton of muscle and looked even better. But obviously that didn't happen.
Wow.
And here we are. In a video where he addressed his comments about his weight gain, he says that he never wants to be shredded or lean. He says that he will literally never be below 20% body fat.
So addressing some stuff about my last video, number one, everyone's saying I bulk too fast or
The qualified 232 at Indy, freaking insane speed. Yeah, fast, brother.
And I probably won't ever go below 15 to 20% body fat. I wouldn't recommend anyone bulking that fast as I did. as fast as I did, or going above like 20%.
All right, let's
if
see.
you want to look
Let's
good.
see. The
But actually,
Royals.
the big-
What up, Thakor? The Royals never do muscle building. A Microsoft owner, Elon Trump, and all the presidents of different countries. Yeah, they don't seem to. And the only guy that did was what's his face from Amazon. He did. Imagine giving up a trim body like that kid had. We won't do that. Social media, probably. Social. I guarantee it. He injected acid into his face.
And I wanted to get as big as possible.
It's been probably 30 years. I only ever had one. All right, good night, Siraj, brother.
In this video, he's entirely out of breath just commenting on such a thing, while exclaiming to the world that he wants to be at least 300 pounds and ideally go beyond that. Then, this video.
I'm okay. I'm fine. Kinshana. Kinshana. Ding, 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 ding.
Man. Yeah, peer pressure. The Royals don't need to work out, live long, just smear. Ugh.
He reflects on where he used to be aesthetic, in which I think the comments are starting to get to him at this point because they're numerous and almost on any video. He starts
Bodybuilders are off in the head. Like, yeah, I agree.
And the caption he puts here says,
the current
"Sometimes I
generation is
wonder if
falling
I'm
for the trap."
taking."
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Which I imagine is pretty devastating to think when you've already intentionally gained over 100 pounds within a single year, even going to the point of losing his girlfriend. Then the pseudo cutting arc started, which didn't last very long. This
he
is
lost
when I
his.
think he decided. and
So
this
he
is-
ain't doing it for girls because he had a girlfriend, and she's basically saying that you gain too much weight and you don't care about anything. Also, the Royals is the time limit as they try to enjoy as much as they can and leave the business to others. Yeah.
enough and likely realized how far gone everything had gotten, which in all fairness, he started making really good progress almost right away. But soon after this, and you'll see this as another trend within Lucas, is that he completely reverts back to bulking again.
Time to get boozing.
Instead, he chose to bulk and get back to 300 pounds, looking like an absolute caveman. But shortly after he got to that 300-pound point, he said that he was done. He was fully committed to the cut. And this is where the actual cutting arc begins. With comments on this post all mentioning something similar. Graham says, "I've been waiting on you to cut since 2021, and I'm so excited to finally see it." He was finally going to lose the bloat lord effect that he had been known to have. Nearly 4 years later. At this point, his new arc was truly aiming to get single-digit body fat percentages. But in this arc, you'll also notice this is kind of in line with him using looks maxing audios and talking about looks maxing concepts more regularly. Even showing his jawline, of course, doing the classic jaw protrusion, the sticking your jaw out to make it look like you actually have a lot more squared away jaw than you actually do. And then sucking in the cheeks. This is like something all looks maxer guys do. They jolt the jaw like this, and then they bite their cheeks. They go like...
I don't know how to mew.
And his physique
I'm
actually
learning.
continued to improve along the weeks and months to come, completely
I
transforming
gave up though
himself.
too.
His
I'm
skin,
270,
however,
50%
unfortunately,
body
was
fat.
still loose
Damn,
at this
dude.
point, something I think is really worth mentioning, and specifically why I think a permabulk is just a terrible idea, because you get this saggy skin after you're all said and done, and the whole concept behind doing the permabulk was to eventually build a physique that was really good underneath all that mass. But then when you shred down,
What up,
you start
crying
noticing
fish?
things
I'm gonna
aren't
start a
coming
hornet
back
max. He
like
looks a
you
bunch of
wanted
bird
them.
hornet.
And
Do
another
it,
part of
do it,
the
dude. Get
lifestyle
to
is it does
get to
cause
die
a
crying.
fat redistribution from the overconsumption of calories. That includes the face, which he started to get several comments on regularly through the entire arc of his cutting. People commented about how big his face was while his body kept getting leaner. In this video, he
Blimps.
claims it was
Only
just his
30.
genetics, but before the bulk, his face wasn't even like this. It was much skinnier.
Please stop asking me this question. I get asked this question every day. I get literal DMs asking me, "What's wrong with your face? Why is your face so fat? Why is your face bloated? You're lean, but your face, it's f***ing genetics. I have a fat face. I have fat cheeks. There's nothing I can do about it."
And honestly, it's at this point where I think it started to affect his decision making. So many comments, so many
I
people
don't
on
see
every
the
single
point in
post
getting healthy.
mentioning it,
You don't
that
see the
he
point,
started to take the
GM.
cut too seriously. He started to
If
get
you-
almost disorderly. At this
If
point,
you don't feel bad, you know, if you wake up, you're not depressed, you're not anxious, if you feel fine, you got energy to do what you want to do, you're
he
probably
was even
pretty
doing
healthy.
30,000 steps a day, which I genuinely think is not healthy or normal, and is by definition probably probably dysmorphia happening in real time. This behavior also is reflected in his eating habits. He would eat extremely large cheat meals and very, very low calories the rest of the week to compensate. During all of this, he continues to talk about the fat on his face, and in the meantime, doing 4 hours of cardio a day on the treadmill or on a bike, which is wildly too much for anybody to be doing and is completely unnecessary. His hope was that he would reach 5% body fat, and his fat would basically lean out his physique.
I do feel bad. I just don't got motivation to do it. Life just feels like it's not worth the extraordinary effort. I used to feel that way all the time, brother. I used to feel that way all the time. And I'm going to say it. It wasn't until I started taking vitamin B12, methylated B12. It wasn't until that I was actually like, oh, wow, I don't have to feel like how long is this life going to take and stuff. That all goes away. At least for me, it all went away. Yeah, like within the first couple hours of taking it for the first big dose of B12. One, unbelievable. So the vitamin B12 deficiency and depression. Vitamin B12 deficiency is strongly linked to depression and can trigger or worsen mood changes, fatigue, cognitive issues. It occurs because B12 is essential for producing brain chemicals that regulate mood. It was my problem. Like I was on antidepressants for years. I was on freaking Adderall, Ritalin, whatnot for years. Yeah, and now I'm not. I only eat one meal a day and a snack in the evenings, and I've lost 50 pounds in a year. When I first started for like 4 months, so I carried like 6,000 to 1,000 calories, 600 to 1,000 calories. Got it. Yes, I have those Dissolvol tablets too. Right. You have the methylated stuff. Now I eat a meal in the morning and a salad snack for bedtime. Yeah, I don't screw around in the morning. I'm skinny enough, and I'm my metabolism's fast enough that, like, if I eat, I eat in the morning, I sugar crash in the afternoon. So I don't usually eat till between like 12 and 2:30. I only enjoy life eating and watching YouTube streams. Okay, all right, well, you should get your enjoyment, brother.
Like, the number one thing to do is just get leaner. Like, you'll see in the next month as I push to like 6% body fat, 5% body fat or so, like my face will lean out. Like, it's just that simple. Like, if you get to 5% body fat, you literally cannot have any fat on your face because you won't have any fat. You will have like 5-10 pounds of fat on your body, and your body is.
Hold on, let's jump down the line here.
So, yeah. Hopefully it'll be all right. I'll look at it when I wake up. I'll update you guys, but I'm going to bed, bro. If I fucking die in my sleep, I die in my sleep. I am so old for this shit anyways.
And this is really, I mean, Lucas gets into heavily rage baiting his audience basically every day, saying he's quitting social media, he's stopping steroids, then he's starting steroids again, then he's increasing
Yeah. Some people go freaking nuts, dude. Like, look, I don't really understand it, but I do, okay? Like, I don't experience it, but I understand it. So, like, I got a big nose. I broke the shit out of it. I get made fun of it all the time or whatever. But it never crossed my mind to say maybe I should get plastic surgery. It never even crossed my mind to think about, okay, I don't care at all. And I get picked on about it. But, I mean, it's like I use it to, like, people come in and make fun of my nose. I say, cool, how you doing? You want to talk about something? They become friends. They become, members and whatnot. So yeah, like, but some people, they just can't let it go. It's just like everybody thinks my face is too fat, and then do whatever they can to make it skinnier. But I'd be interested to see why he was so adamant about pleasing the people on the internet, and like he didn't care about keeping his girlfriend around. So, like, it's not because he doesn't attract anybody. He obviously did, and he had a girlfriend, and everything was going great until he started putting on so much weight and leaving her alone that she left. I hate the crash and finally blew 200 for the first time in years. If I lose another 30, 40 pounds, I should be able to see my abs for the first time in my life. You'll get there, brother. You'll get there. I want liposuction just so I can move around better. Yeah, if you've got those kind of problems, that can be rough. Yeah, his girlfriend was probably a drag on his life. Probably, but my point was that it wasn't that he couldn't get girls, and that's why he was like, I want to lose weight so I can get a girlfriend. It obviously wasn't that. So he was really affected by what people said on the internet. Stupid. If you'll get there, just keep on going. It's not just calories in, calories out. If you start looking at making sure your body's got enough vitamins and minerals in it that you're not getting from food, then you won't feel hungry either, because you get hungry when your body's low in a vitamin or mineral, not just protein and carbs and whatnot. That's true, just an egomaniac. Yeah, that's what it seems like. All right, I'm going to go to bed. I love you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back. I got to paint, and I'll do an earlier stream too, probably closer to noon. It's 9:30 now. But I got to get the cat out of my bed and go to sleep. All right, I love y'all. Bye. Bye-bye.